Last time on Square Roots, Elena drinks some juice, Mareg makes a robot friend, and Ryudo gets horny after reuniting with his long-lost brother. Also, Rowan becomes a Proud Boy King. It's not about hate, it's about heritage.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
More like Matt Brew Van Zant, am I right, Jimmy? Ho!
Johnny Zira Brandon.
I don't want to be associated with Daddy Pope anymore.
Well, there's a lot of Pope-related stuff happening in the world of Square Roots and in the world of
mirroring the things that are happening in this game, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also joined by Vanessa.
I realize I should have said he becomes a Proud Boy King, not a Proud Boy King. Sorry, slightly wrong emphasis there.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Well, he said that
really
when
quick.
they regain their pride, they'll be ready to go.
Hey guys, did you know that this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time? And this is episode 5 of Grandia 2.
What?
How have we...
This is a real classic RPG.
I've hit 30-something, like 31 hours now of this game.
Wow. How are you feeling?
I can't tell how many
good?
hours I've hit because the Xbox, once again, cannot seem to accurately track my time in these games. It thinks I've played 160 hours.
Yeah, so does the Switch.
Yeah, the Steam Deck did the same thing. I think I finished the game at like 235 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What are we doing in the show? Oh, no, you already said it.
I already said it. I said that.
Yeah, I
you guys want to... I feel like there's a lot of hot gaming news. A lot of people's gaming worlds got turned upside down this week.
Yeah, there's been a lot. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I feel like we should get the big one out of the way. Oblivion. It's back in our lives in a big way.
Oh, no.
I didn't know how much I'd missed it until it returned.
I played a couple hours of it, and I did the I think it's like Galthier quest, where there's just like an insane person in that first city getting you to follow people for him because he thinks there's a conspiracy, and it turns out he's just an insane little what elf. Mm-hmm. So good. That game's great.
I actually haven't had a chance to play the remaster yet, but I have downloaded it, and I love that it's going to be there for me when I need it the most. Oblivion's one of those games I've played several times over. I like it. I like that it lets me be the prettiest princess in all of the guilds.
Gotta say,
it's good.
the Khajiit and what are they, Argonians? Look way, way better than they have ever looked before, and that includes Skyrim.
I always thought the Khajiit looked kind of stupid.
Yes, they look
but
fucking terrible.
in the remastered, they look pretty cool. They do. They look pretty cool.
They're all like
which
lion
would you
and
rather
leopard
seduce?
I would, the Khajiit pretty sexy in the remaster. They're like lion people.
You'll get all that fur in your mouth.
I mean,
That's
would
not
you rather
the first
have
time,
scales in
Vanessa.
your mouth?
If I had to choose between licking something scaly and licking something furry, I would lick something scaly. Yes.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
Vanessa,
enjoy your
I feel like
salmonella.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just... Watch an episode of Are You Being Served? I think they make these kind of innuendos all the time.
So I guess
I've heard of putting your thumb on your scales, but your tongue on the scales?
we kind of beat around the point as usual before really talking about it. But
Beat around the
Oblivion
point
did
of that scaly thing.
Oblivion did get stealth dropped this week. Crazy, just like Johnny predicted. And that means
Johnny's got vindication. Johnny's got vindication.
Oh, yeah.
Time for
Matt,
a crisp
you owe Johnny $10.
I owe
bill.
Johnny $10. Johnny, you need to send me your address because I'm going to mail you a $10 bill.
Crisp.
crisp as they
Can
come.
you send?
Will
Can you
I
send
lick it?
Vanessa
Maybe.
a picture of it because she's never gonna see the $10 that she thinks I'm gonna give her.
In October,
I'm a
just
man
in
of
time
my
for
word.
Halloween, I'm getting that 10.
I am a man of my word, Jim. You know what, Jim? I don't blame you because Vanessa is not a woman of her word. She is a little fucking rules lawyer who likes to twist and wriggle her way to victory, and it's
She's
bullshit.
a real little dipshit.
I never said when it would come out. What was it? Oh, I never said when I would play Alan Wake. Get fucked.
It's
Yeah,
true.
I
was just
bought,
looking
I
at it
haven't
on
bought
my
her, I haven't
screen.
bought her the game.
Bought her the fucking game.
I know. I was just looking at it on my installed content, and I'm like, I really just need to find 2 hours and stream at least a little bit more.
Yeah.
You really don't
At least
need
Matt
to
and I,
string the whole game.
we set a concrete time period. It had to come out, I think, before the end of June is when we agreed. Either by
Yeah.
June or
Yeah,
before
it was
the
something
end of
like
June.
that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But yeah, it's we didn't really say what it is, but it's the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, but it's been remastered in Unreal Engine 5. And it looks great. They added a ton of cool quality of life things. There's this spell that you get right off the bat that will basically tell you where to go.
Yep. I would like to
your
say
objective is.
I am
It's pretty
starting
neat.
to. It has fudged the lines. It has blurred the lines between what a remaster and what a remake is.
I think so,
I think
too.
it's a remake, gang.
Yeah, it looks like a remake. I
Yeah,
would have
it
called it,
feels
a
like a
remake.
remake.
But they
I
call
will
it
say,
remaster, right?
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
they do. It is called remastered. I get I feel like the reason why they didn't was this feels like, and I hate to say it because it does look great. This feels like it had an AI contribution. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It feels
Oh, no.
like AI had a heavy hand here.
I don't-
That's
How
many
my that's just
freckles
my
do the
impression.
girls
I don't
have
get that
now?
impression, and I think that you are insane to be saying that
I don't
anywhere
think
where
so.
Bethesda
I
can
don't
hear
think
you
so.
and sue the shit out of you.
What
Just to be
I
clear,
heard
that's not the
is-
stated position of the Square Roots podcast. That's Jim's
I
position. Sue
honestly
Jim.
think it's weird that nobody I've seen maybe an article or two or maybe a post or two, but it's weird how people haven't asked did they use AI for this, because I feel like they obviously did.
They
I
might
don't know
have.
what you're
I
talking
mean,
about.
But I haven't even touched it yet. What they did with this game, and one of the reasons it still feels so old, is that they took the original game and then used Unreal only for the graphics layer, so it's still the old game
Yeah.
under there, and then they
was
put a
gonna
new
say-
layer on top of it.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
why
can
you have to
see that-
load 1,000 shaders when you boot the game up.
Well, every
I feel
game
like
does
you can.
that.
I feel like you can really see that in the facial animations during conversations. Like those, even though the models look way better, they still have the same weird tics that they
Do
had.
they still
Yep.
sound like?
Yeah, the persuasion wheel is so funny.
Yeah, the
still.
persuasion wheel is still really fucking weird.
Still
Anyway, great game.
More of,
Yeah, a lot of weird faces.
Yep,
I love
weird
that
faces.
persuasion wheel. That's the best stupid dialogue minigame ever.
It is.
It's great.
I
it's
love
a great,
it.
Yeah, that and the lock picking. These are the things that I fucking love.
Oh, lockpicking so good.
I
Did,
am
did
already,
Skyrim still have the persuasion wheel, or did they get rid of that for
No.
Skyrim?
No, there was no
No.
persuasion wheel.
Yeah.
Wasn't the lock picking
Although
different too, or was it the same?
The lockpicking was different. It's where you had to move the thing and then rotate the thing the other way, and it was based on the resistance between the two things.
That's right. Yeah, I like this much more. It's stupid and annoying.
Yeah,
read that-
it's so silly.
I read that they did bring in a couple of Skyrim mechanics, like the eye when you're sneaking that sort of opens
Yes,
and closes
yeah.
depending on.
Yeah.
That's very
Where you are.
helpful.
Yeah.
You can. There is a run button now. You can actually run.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a run button.
Anyway, so Oblivion, pretty cool. What
Yeah,
else
they
is-
did make the leveling similar to Skyrim too. So you don't have to grind stats you don't care about to level up your character in this. So it's more like Skyrim level. So I love to run everywhere. So my athletics was leveling up so fast it got me up a level without me having to do a ton of combat.
Yeah. It used to be that you could, because it only leveled you based on how much you leveled your primary skills, So
Yes.
you could put all of your primary skills as something that you didn't ever use and play the whole game at level 1. And because enemies scale with you, it would keep it
Oh,
super,
that's right.
super
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. There are like high level enemies that you can run into that will just straight up that you'll just get like one shotted by. So that's fun. Also,
there should be in an
announced-
open world RPG. That's how these games work.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. Matt, you would put in here Ghost of Yotai got a release date. It's October 2nd. That's fun. Sequel,
that's the
sequel to
Ghost of Tsushima,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
That is going to be right around Grand Theft Auto. Which I don't give a shit about.
I
so
mean, Grand Theft Auto is good. I mean, how can you compete with a Grand Theft Auto? You can't.
I
But
can.
I think there's room in people's hearts for both.
I agree. Nothing should be releasing within like a week of it, but like it's not like the whole month should be cleared out for fucking Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. Ghost of Tsushima is a great game.
Speaking of releases, a new release popped out this week that Jim and I have been playing a little of. I haven't played enough to really talk about it in the level up section, so I'm just going to say now, Claire Obscure, the turn-based RPG by a French developer whose name I don't know.
I believe it's Sandfall Interactive.
My initial impressions are looks really nice and it seems cool and I want to play more. What's a paintress?
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff going on. I'll talk more about it in my level up, but man, it's real good.
Starring
good
Robert
game.
Pattinson.
As Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox as Robert Pattinson.
What else? There's Matt. You put something in here about a fake Wheel of Time game.
All of the fantasy nerd sphere was at Twitter yesterday, and I had multiple people message me to tell me that.
Yeah, I forgot. I was going to tell you.
iWatt, the company that owns the rights to the Wheel of Time, formerly Red Eagle, has announced that they are making an open world Wheel of Time RPG that will encompass all of the books and all of the history of the Wheel of Time. And to that I say, bullshit. That fucking company announces some new fucking thing every year. They have announced a trilogy of movies. They have announced an animated movie. They have announced an interactive version of the books. At one point, they announced some sort of weird Wheel of Time chatbot. None of it has ever come out, so go ahead and don't fucking at me with that bullshit.
Aw, but people just are trying to connect with you and they see something they think you'll be interested in.
As far as I recall, and this, don't sue me, I could be wrong, but the way I remember it is that company swooped in when old Robert Jordan needed to pay some medical bills and bought the rights off of him and have basically been shitting out garbage ever since.
Are they like Wheel of Time NFTs?
I love that visual shitting out garbage.
There was definitely something announced that had to do with NFTs because that company announces something new constantly. They are just trying to get investors or something. I don't know. I don't care. I'll fucking believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
You know what?
And
People are down on humanity so much these days for good reason. But I like that we as a collective society kind of just said, we're not interested. No, thank you to NFTs. And I think that's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
And all of the
It's
stupid
great,
ideas
but
people
then
had
a
to
whole
use
bunch
them.
of people are making it our problem. All these tech guys who are like, we like AI, we like NFTs, and if you don't like it, we're gonna come into your house and shove them down your throat anyway.
I'm a little disturbed by how we're still kind of flirting with crypto. I hope that goes away soon.
I mean, our president has his own crypto coin and is fucking
Our president has a
offering
fucking meme
dinners
coin.
for the people that buy the most, because that's what the president of your country should be doing, ladies and gentlemen. That's why
Isn't there
America's
a law
ahead
against
of
that?
the curve.
There are many laws against that, John.
Doesn't matter. Guy
Many
can do
laws.
whatever he wants. If no one's willing to charge you with the crimes you commit, if no one can convict you of the crimes you commit, did you commit a crime?
That's That's very deep.
Very deep, very philosophical. I have a hot gaming news.
What is
Please.
The Steam store has announced that they are going to make all of the games in their shop searchable by accessibility functions. So
Cool.
people will be able to go in and filter out, what they need to be able to play a game and see everything that offers that. And I think that's pretty cool.
Speaking of accessibility functions, Vanessa, when I was booting up Claire Obscure earlier, I saw it has both a story mode and the ability to autocomplete QTEs. And
Oh,
you know
that's
that it
great.
stars your boyfriend Charlie Cox, right?
That's true.
Feels like this game
Gosh,
was
maybe I
made
should
for
play
Vanessa.
Claire Obscure. I mean, I
She does
definitely
love to
will
chuck
play it
cocks.
At some point, I love it, but but I am so deep into blueprints, which I'm sure I'll get into in my level up. That
Yeah.
all of my leisure gaming time when I'm not playing Grandia is going into that right now.
You have been playing Blueprints a lot.
You
I've been
know-
on my Xbox quite a bit over the last week, and I see you on there playing
Yeah.
Blueprints.
The minute I heard of that game and I read the description of it, I was like, this is a Vanessa game.
Oh, 100%. Oh, speaking of Vanessa game, this is just something I ran across on Steam, or maybe it was a headline the other day, but there's a new multiplayer game coming out on Steam that is you are like the host of a murder mystery party, and the other people playing are like the ones in attendance, and so you have to stage a murder mystery and everyone else has to kind of guess it.
That
I've done that
sounds
I would
for
delightful.
Vanessa
Play that
in
game.
Skyrim.
Is that a
Remember?
multiplayer? Did you say that's a multiplayer game? Oh, the
Yeah,
dinner
it's a-
party
yeah,
in
yeah.
Skyrim.
Yeah, it's a
well, the
multiplayer
murder.
game.
Oh,
The
maybe
murder
we
thing.
can stream that.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun stream. I still
Yeah, it
want to
sounds
stream
fun.
Repo.
I'll have to find that headline.
Anywho, I think that's it for
yeah.
hot gaming news.
Yeah, let's do a couple plugs.
Well,
Johnny, tell me about
before-
Bears and Games.
Wait.
Before we dive into the plugs or the quest log, our vote wrapped up, and we should announce the next
Oh, yeah.
game.
Oh.
So
Oh.
the category that won for this vote was point and click games. We put up a hot list of the best, most popular, most beloved point and click games, and also Jim picked a couple. And the winner by a fairly small margin, Grim Fandango.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Only Vanessa gets that joke. So, Grim Fandango.
Y'all are going to get all my Grim Fandango references from now on, and it's just going to open a whole new world of communication for all of
I'm
us.
really excited. I have
I'm
been
excited
wanting
too.
to play this game.
Same.
I tried playing it without a walkthrough. I bought it. I saw it for $5 at a Staples once, so I picked it up, and I got. I don't know. Feel like a third of the way through, and I just couldn't figure out. There's some pneumatic tube puzzle or something couldn't figure
It's
out.
a toughie. Yeah, it's a tough little game.
Yeah, so
Well,
I'm gonna
I
play it
plan
with a
on
guy
using a
this
guide.
time. Yeah.
Heads up for
Yeah,
our
I would
listeners,
use a
it
guide.
is, I believe, on Game Pass. So that should make it easy if you're a Game Pass subscriber like me. Of course, it's available on a ton of other platforms. And you know what? It's pretty cheap. I think it'll only
real
last us,
inexpensive.
what do you
Yeah,
think,
a couple
Vanessa, 2
bucks.
eps?
Yeah, probably 2.
Okay, so it'll be a shorty, and then Johnny gets to pick a game. Johnny, that means you're
Johnny's
3 weeks out
choice.
from having to tell us what you want to
I already told you.
happen
What
to,
is
by
it?
the way. I'm a real fucking Texan deep in my
I
heart.
really want to know
Happen
what
to
John's
pick.
going to pick.
I was thinking From Software's masterpiece, Enchanted Arms.
Okay.
Hey, that sounds good.
I said this
What
when we
is
started
that?
Grandia. I have been hankering for some real RPGs. I kind of missed it. I kind of have missed our, original.
yeah, we've
This
gotten
one's
off-
interesting because
off
it
mission.
has this and Shadow. Was it Shadow Hearts? Are
Shadow Hearts, yeah.
two of the first games to have gay party characters, and that's one of the
Oh,
reasons
cool.
I want, because I'm going to record footage for this. And
John, this game has bad reviews.
oh yeah, it's not great.
The reviews are bad.
Where can I buy it?
It's on
John.
Xbox.
Can I play it on?
Xbox, you can buy. It's a 360 game, but it's backwards compatible on your
Okay.
Series S or X.
Cool.
How long to?
I feel like it's
beat
45 hours.
You want us to play a 45-hour bad game?
Well,
Hey, if it's
25,
easy, it can be as bad
25.
as it wants.
It's 25 hours, man.
Main story 25 and a half hours. Main and sides 43 and a half hours.
Well,
So-
I'm really
don't do the
looking forward
sides.
to playing your choice, Johnny. I think it's a great one.
It's gonna be great.
I think you made
I
a
actually
good
don't think it's
decision.
that bad. I mean, it's divisive. I think it's a Miyazaki game. You know, the guy who did all the Dark Souls and stuff, which is interesting.
You love Dark Souls. See, Matt?
No, I don't.
No, Matt doesn't
I
love
fucking
Dark
hate
Souls.
Dark Souls.
It's nothing like Dark Souls. I mean,
I can see it's
got a
turn-based.
neat. Yeah, it's turn-based, but it's got a neat combat system. It's
Yeah,
cool.
no, I'm watching a bit of the combat right now, and I just saw a man play a saxophone to attack somebody. So
Yeah,
sign
that's
me
the gay guy.
fuck up.
That's Makoto.
That's the gay dude.
Yes.
Boy, this is the game that's going to make me go back to not wanting to play JRPGs. I can already
Yep.
tell.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, does that mean we're gonna have to play 2 JRPGs in a row? This might be too much. But then I remembered there's Grim Fandango in the middle. You got a little rest. It's fine.
Yeah, and then after that, we'll have another vote, and our listeners will pick something terrible.
Yeah. No, they picked something great. Grim Fandango is like a beloved, super fun.
Jim has played it and
creative
doesn't
game.
like it. He said it reminds him of Family
I
Guy.
don't- No, I said it reminds me of the I can have cheeseburger internet culture.
Well, but this
kind of
was like
jokes.
late 90s. This is 10
Yeah,
years
that's what I
before
said.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the proto version of that, I guess. I don't know.
I guess we'll
I think it's
find
cute.
out in, 2 episodes. I think we've only got 1 episode of
I
this
feel
left.
like I
Is that-
have it
you
for
think
the
that's right,
Vita.
Jim?
Like I got a PS Plus. You know how PS Plus gives you those monthly free games? I think I have Grim Fandango for Vita.
I got Grim Fandango when it came out, when it was re-released in like 2015, 2016, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's when I first played it.
You know, I played it on disc back in the day like a real purist. I
Ooh.
mean, I'm 20.
Floppy disk.
It's a CD
My
game.
dad had the
Mac.
game, but I never played it. Yeah, my dad had it, but I think I played it, but I could never like.
Huh, I didn't know your dad played PC games.
Yeah, we had a ton of those. Well, you guys talk about like the old point and click adventure. Like I played all those games too, all the Sierra games. My
Oh,
dad had
wow.
all those. Broken Sword, King's Quest. I had so many. The like King's Quest games came on so many floppy disks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played
that's
all
cool.
those.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well,
I think now we can do plugs.
yeah. So stream. These are both me time because we're streaming a Johnny game. It's called Snatcher. And Jim, what do you think of? You missed the head getting torn off.
Oh yeah, I was kind of sad. Well, like I was going to talk about this in my level up, but the reason why I had to abandon the stream early last night was because I wanted to go to bed early so that I could get up and play Claire Obscure super early this morning. So that's exactly what I did. I got up at 3:45 in the morning. Yeah, I heard it got a lot better.
Yeah, I mean it is one of those games. It's a Portopia style Japanese adventure game. Like
Yeah,
you know,
it's really interesting. Like, there's so much extraneous, like, world building that happens. You know what I mean? There's so much text. Like, the game is telling
it's
you a lot
also
of
a
stuff.
Hideo Kojima game, and that guy can't shut up. Like you've played Death
Yeah,
Stranding
and like, I
Metal
feel
Gear.
like it should be I feel like it should be against the law for Kojima to do a visual novel.
Man, I replayed the beginning of Death Stranding again the other week, and what that first hour is maybe some
I
of my
really
favorite
want to
gaming.
play that. I need to sit down and just do it.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all don't want to veto Enchanted Arms, I do Death Stranding instead. That's totally fine. But I feel like Enchanted Arms, I think would be fun. I don't know. It's like
I
an
think
Couldn't
it'll
pay
be
me to
fun.
play Death Stranding, so
Wow.
I just want to jump in and say I thought that I love the first couple Metal Gear games, and those are too chatty, and then after that they're just chat, and I can't handle it. and I can't imagine playing fucking Death Stranding. I just can't imagine. I would rather throw myself off a bridge. I just wanted to jump in and say that Smoocher, the game that Johnny streamed last night, gorgeous, real fun time.
Yeah, look, it looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, really good looking sprite graphics, like kind of the pinnacle
amazing.
of 16-bit like sprite art. Yeah, the music's fantastic. Yeah. It's a mix of Genesis like FM synth and Roland recorded synthesizer music, and it's such a good combo with like real live saxophone and some other live instrumentation as well.
Great sprite animations as well, and then as Johnny just said, we did get to a part where we found somebody whose head had been ripped off their body, and it was quite the shock. The game does seem to just be Blade Runner. It is just Blade Runner.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Bubblegum Crisis, which also was Blade Runner, but with someone who looks just like Harrison Ford in Blade Runner.
They call them runners. The city is basically just the matte painting of the city from Blade Runner. Yeah, it's got the pyramid and all that. Yeah, they've got the big pyramid in the middle.
Vanessa, what did you think of Snatcher so far? I was surprised how much you stayed through for that.
Yeah, it was good. I hadn't looked up anything about it. I didn't know what kind of game it was before I logged onto the stream, and it looked nice. I enjoyed it, and I did.
It does have a dude being sleazy to every woman he meets.
Yeah, but that's, you're playing as a straight dude, like you guys said, and that's how they are.
Yep. I love there's you can keep asking your ex out on dates, and there's like a list of 40 dates you could go on. I don't know if there's a correct one or not. I feel like there's not. But anyway, also, I'm editing. I'm like 20-something minutes into a 90-minute edit of my next video. So it's coming. Just, I had to play, like 12 hours of Grandia this past week because I had to catch up. So, just give me some time. It's coming. There's a video coming, and then I'll do some shorties after to kind of...
I don't think anybody's harassing you about it, so...
my brain is... Because my brain wants to start making revenue from this channel and needs more videos. So, you know.
John needs more motivation. Let's start writing him letters, anonymously addressed.
I don't like that. And
send him an email that says that, whoa, hello, you just jumped in my lap and there's not exactly a lot of room for you there. Sorry, excuse me.
I hear her little bell.
Let's send him a fake email that says that somebody would really like to write his life story because it sounds like he's led an interesting life.
Did you see that email I got today?
No.
Jim, I love you, and you're my friend. You don't need somebody to ghostwrite a book about you.
That's such a weird spam email. Sorry.
All right, how about we move on? Oh yeah, check out Bears and Games on YouTube and Square Roots podcast on YouTube. The one with the color logo. Don't go to the black and white one. Actually, you know what? Subscribe to both because we might accidentally post to the other one.
We really need to pull the videos off the black and white one.
Outside the realm of possibility.
We really need to pull the videos off that and post them on the real channel and get rid of that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the big YouTubers have a secret second channel.
Oh, that's a good
They do.
That's a backup.
Simon Whistler has like 40 different channels. The Mega Projects guy, the bald guy with glasses, he's like, I'm going to read this script someone else wrote for me I've never read before. That's not a good... Don't do that. That's a terrible idea for a video series.
That sounds great, actually.
Oh, Simon Whistler.
So let's get into Grandia 2. So, what happened last time? We left off, Ryudo is now possessed by the horns of Valmar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. Ryudo is possessed by the Whore of Valmar.
Mm-hmm.
The Whore of Valmar, and...
A.K.A. Millennia.
Yeah, Melphis is dead. Elena saw Ryudo shirtless, as we all did.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're all super horny for Ryudo. So this is the point in the game, like, in my first playthrough of this, I only got to the Body of Valmar boss fight. And this is where Ryudo's writing turns to, like, garbage.
He turns into
'Cause, like,
anime main character.
It does. It
Yeah.
turns into like protagonist. Like I'm gonna fight for the
Justice
light
and
or
friendship
whatever.
and
It
truth
turns into
and-
Sora. Yeah, like I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks.
I hate it.
Well, it's not. I would say his first third was way worse when he was just snarky asshole.
I disagree.
I hated
I
snarky
do disagree
asshole.
because
But I didn't like him, but that's not the point. It was more interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't. He wasn't a likable character, but at least the writing was like good. It wasn't boring anyway. And this is. I feel like Ryuto's writing got kind of boring at this point in the game.
Yeah, he's less of a dick, and now he's just kind of a nice guy.
Now he's like chivalrous, and he only does the right thing all the time.
I don't know. He has a couple of lines in this one.
Yeah, that's true.
I just thought 3 feet of
quality
steel
it
in your
kinda went
throat
downhill,
or whatever. And
Oh yeah, that's good.
what's the one that I shared the other day that really made me laugh? Or maybe it was Millennia that said it. Save the drama for your mama.
So I missed the last chunker. I wasn't on it. The only thing I really want to talk about, this was the last chunker, was the I'm in love with both of you scene, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's
this chunker.
That's this chunker. That is
For sure.
wild.
It's weird. Where did that come from?
I
get
don't
that he was
know.
crushing on Elena, but like, all right, well, we shouldn't be talking about that yet. We need to get to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so Mareg is like, I think I know where the Granas saber is. It's at the end of the world. Let's go there.
Well, the dead brother told us that it was at the end of the world.
No, he said it's like at the end of the Grana Cliffs or whatever, didn't he?
Yeah, he said
and
eastward,
Mareg is like,
like
I
it
know where
was-
that is.
Oh,
Yes.
it's to the east. Yeah.
It's my home. It's my home. Which
He's
surprise!
like, we
Like,
could
he-
stop by there. We can go say hi to
He's
my
like-
fam.
What a shock
Like,
that
wow.
each of the
It's
locations
always-
that you visit in this game are tied to your side characters that you picked up in the first 30 minutes of the game. Like, who could have guessed
Yeah.
that was going to happen?
Also, that has to be really embarrassing for Mareg that he's like been all over the world looking for one Melphis and I guess this Grana Saber stuff, and it's just like right where he
wasn't.
started.
I don't think he
No,
was
he
looking
wasn't.
for the
He
Grana
wasn't
Saber.
looking for the Grana Saber, but he
Well,
was
and
looking for
Melphis,
Melphis.
Melphis wasn't there. Melphis was at the St. Hymes papelry,
he's
making
been
out with
bouncing around.
Papa Pope.
Yeah, it's just he has to. I mean, that's got to be serendipitous at least.
He was just
Like,
putting his
well-
tongue in that big bear's mouth.
Don't even have to commute back. It's already right here.
Anyway, yeah. So we
had
gotta head over
we
there.
Head to Mareg's house. We head to Mareg's
Yeah,
home.
we get back in the boat
not
and we
in
go
village.
to Mareg's village. What'd you guys think about this?
It was. I thought more would happen here. You have a whole
Me
feast.
too.
So you get to learn
there's
about
there's
feast
a
preparation.
World dungeon.
Yeah.
There's an environment
Well, they-
dungeon before that where you have to, and you learn that this whole area is gooped up like the
Yeah.
mountain was in Ryuto's, outside of Ryuto's.
What's the name
village.
of Goop? What's the name of sliding doors?
Yeah, Goop.
Yeah, it's gooped up like her.
Yeah, like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Miss
What are you
Sliding
talking
Doors
about?
herself.
Is it goop?
What's
I don't
sliding
think
doors?
it's goop.
Isn't that the name of her
It is
stupid
Goop.
magazine?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Just remember, when
I
you're
think I don't know
feeling
the
down
name
and
of
low,
Gwyneth Paltrow's
you're never gooped
magazine
up like
/ lifestyle
Paltrow.
brand. That's
is
right.
Goop.
That's right. Mm-hmm. This candle smells.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. So you go to his village, and you talk to the chief, and the chief is so excited. Although he doesn't exactly know where Grana Saber is, right? But he's like, but that's okay, because we can totally have a party and a feast, and all you gotta do is collect some nuts for us. We can't go down there ourselves because it's a surprise. But the surprise is that there's this dungeon full of goop. Like different kind of goop, like a sweet sticky goo that they get covered with. that
Oh
they
yeah,
need for the,
this is like their I don't. I can't think of like a good analog, but it's like it's the most smell good thing in the world.
It's Vanessa and cheese.
cats.
Like Vanessa couldn't go to a cheese dungeon
Yeah.
because she would
yeah.
never leave a
This
cheese
is-
dungeon.
The implication here is that
Garfield
Vanessa is
and-
Monterey Jack from Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, I was
am.
gonna say this is Garfield and lasagna. But they're like, we needed you to go through the trial because we can't go down there, because if we went down there to where the smell comes from, we would never leave. So we need you to just go down there and come out smelling like it.
I mean, but they
That's
treat it
the
like
best
it's
thing ever.
the game treats it like you're about to do a dungeon with just Elena and Ryudo.
Yeah,
And-
that would have sucked. by
Yeah,
the
it
way.
really would have sucked. And then instead, you just get gooped and you come out and they're all like, "You smell good."
You don't just get gooped. You have to play a mini game.
Yep.
You have to.
Oh yeah, the grabbing nuts mini game.
Yeah, you have to play the
Oh,
bullshit grabbing
yeah.
nuts mini game.
That is a really shitty mini game.
And they say it's like the trial of the earth or something
Yes.
like that. And
Yeah.
then you go into this room and,
And
it's just
there's
like,
more
grab
of
as many
that
nuts as
stupid
you
thing
can.
where that you give it poff nuts. The poff nuts thing is there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it jumps on your shoulder and like lights the way for you. Except you don't need it.
Except you don't need it. Yeah, that's why that thing doesn't
Cute,
really
though.
matter.
I thought it was cute.
One thing that I really liked about Mareg's village is that Mareg is like the only like professional wrestler sized beast man there. They're the rest of them are just like human sized people. He's the only like big muscle guy.
Man, you see him in a CG cutscene, and his Bara Tiddies are like I'm doing the little Italian pizza guy hand thing.
The like chef's kiss.
Oh, yes, chef's kiss to his big old Bara Tiddies.
My compliments to your parents on their excellent genetics.
I thought that cut. You know, stop jumping ahead.
I know
Well,
we
I'm
are
having
jumping
fun.
around.
That cutscene version
Yeah.
of him was one of the shittiest looking things I've ever seen in my
It
life.
was so
His model looks
like,
great. He looks fucking fantastic. They all do. And then the cutscenes happen,
Yeah.
and you're like, why? Why do the cutscenes look worse than the game? You know what I mean?
does look
it's
like
weird.
Why does
Tekken
it look
2.
like I'm watching an episode of Gumby?
Yeah.
Or
Yes, John.
like a
It looks like
reboot.
fucking Tekken 2.
It's the cutscenes are not great looking, but I do think that they gave him some nice Bara Tiddies. So you know, I can't really complain. I really like this feast. Part of the feast is that everyone has to show your talent. So everyone, Vanessa, what's your talent? What would you show at the Beast Village feast?
I'd show some improv games.
Ooh.
Everyone loves improv games. It would be a real whose line is it anyway?
I
true.
gotta jump in here though, and I'm real sorry to say this, but you know how like when you're, I don't know, like when you're reading like a good book and you're like in the back of your brain, you're like, I should write a book. I could do this. That's you. You have watched too much Taskmaster, and now you're like, I could do improv games. Never have you done an improv game in your life, madam.
That is not true.
Once.
I asked Vanessa
That's not
at the end of an
true.
episode a month ago to improv being, what was it? Robert De Niro talking to, what was the name of the other director? Francis Coppola, and she did it
yeah.
perfectly. I think she's great, and
Perfectly.
I was saying
Flawlessly.
without guilelessly, a true thing. I feel like this show has made me much funnier now than I was when I started. I used to just steal a lot of
I
jokes
feel
for
the
other
same
podcasts. I feel like, trying to be on every week has really got me quick on my toes with a good bon mot, you know? And I think all of us have gotten much, much funnier. So I do think Vanessa would be good at improv games. So there.
Interesting,
Yeah,
because I would
and
say
I
you've all gotten
have-
much less funny over the years.
I've taken years and years of acting classes. Yes, it was as a child. But that kind of thing doesn't get stale.
I would,
Yours and
if I
yours.
auditioned for You Can't Do That on television now, I would get the part.
That's
Well, they
right.
still have what's that? What would you do? That's still a show. You can get on that one.
Isn't that show where like strangers or like random people on the street like see a situation and then they
it's like
it's
like there's a scenario and half of them are there's one of I think my favorite one is it's in a video game store and a girl goes to buy like a fighting game and the girl and the guys behind them are actors, and the guys behind her go, "Well, a girl can't play video games, especially a fighting game." And then there's like other people in the store, and it's like, "What would you do? Here's what these people did." And most of the people in there are like, "Fucking leave that girl alone, you weirdo."
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
So, Matt, what would your talent be? Singing?
Yeah, of course. I would sing and I would show that fucking fraudster hussy Elena up because, frankly, she stinks.
Boo.
Jim, what would your talent be at the Beastman talent show?
Like maybe reciting Third Eye Blind lyrics.
Oh, that's a great one.
And you don't have to tell them their Third Eye Blind lyrics. You can be like, "This is I wrote this just now."
Yeah, or you can be like, "This is
That's the dream, right? Like that
sacred
Beatles
poetry
movie?
of my people."
Here's a song I just wrote in the parking lot called Semi-Charmed Life.
Here's my talent. Look at
Ew.
Oh, he's putting his foot in his mouth.
Oh my
and it
God,
has
that's
a
your
sock
foot.
on
I
it.
want to die.
There's a song on
Disgusting.
it.
I could probably
Help.
get two, but the camera's not in the right angle for me to get both of them.
Why would the camera need to be
Today
a
I
different
learned
angle?
Johnny's
Well-
a fucking freak.
I'm very flexible. Let's see.
Oh, he's
So I
gonna
can
do
get
it.
one.
Please don't.
The other.
You don't have to do it. You really
Yeah,
don't have to prove
it's-
yourself to us.
I might hurt myself. I haven't done that in a
Man,
while.
I thought I was gonna see something.
I was like, what's he chewing on? And then I realized it was his foot.
Yeah.
And I died a little, honestly,
Yeah.
inside.
Well, but I think the Beastman would really like it.
I bet Mareg can do that.
So the best part is then they're like, okay, now for our visitors, we shall put on a show of our best singing. And as soon as they start, Rito and Elena are like, let's just go.
Well, I mean, if
Yeah.
you never been with somebody you're into and you're like, hey, we don't care about this. Let's sneak off and smooch.
But they were doing it for them.
In
It
their
seems very
honor.
rude. Yeah.
Fuck them.
Oh, and this is where the love talk happens. That is insano bonkers weirdest thing that happens in this game. Jim, why don't you tell us about their love talk?
So Elena's really confused because she has feelings for Ryudo, but she's also like, there have been a couple moments in the game leading up to this where it seems like Ryudo has affection for Millennia, and then Elena shows up and she's like, "Oh, you thought you were talking to Millennia? Oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed." And so she's not really sure where Ryudo stands, and so she's like, "I really like you, Ryudo, but I hate Millennia because she's a piece of shit, piece of Valmar, and if you like her, it's disgusting." And she's like, "How do you feel, Ryudo?" And Ryudo's like, "I kind of love you both." Mm-hmm. And it's weird.
He's a total dog. He's a dirty dog.
I don't think that's fair. I think
Well,
it's-
there's nothing wrong with being poly, but he's doing it not in a all of us are agreeing this is a mutual thing. Let's all date each other way.
Yeah, he's doing
He's
it.
in a
I'm going
sleazy
to.
dog
I'm
way.
gonna say. Well, he's. I don't know. Yeah.
It's like one of those creeper guys. It's like, nah, baby. See, like, I got my wife, but she's cool with it, and I got
There's
more
room in
love
my
than I
heart
can
for
just
both
have
of
with
you.
one woman, baby. So,
I don't.
you
I think that
know.
it is okay for somebody to have conflicting feelings and to be into more than one person at a time, and that doesn't have to mean that you're trying to be in like a poly relationship either. You know,
I don't know. It
it's-
seemed like
happens.
he was trying to get a three-way going. That's what I think.
But one of them, while like
It didn't seem
I'll
like
say
that
like
at
more.
all.
While Millennia is more, I'll call it traditionally sexy. She's also like kind of murdered a kid a couple episodes ago.
Oh, no, hang on. Now,
She's like a demon lady.
I'm going to defend Millennia here and say that she pulled the plug on a kid that was dying, basically. Like, that's not the same thing. But if you really, on the other hand, she did blow up Elena's village and was like laughing maniacally as she murdered people, right? Like, she is objectively bad.
Yeah.
You guys really like made me uncomfortable when you were like, you can't like, oh, he's into both of them. What a gross guy. Because I've definitely been in that position.
Oh yeah, no. There's
I've
nothing
definitely been in
wrong
that
with
position where I'm
polygamy.
like, which one of these girls am I?
They're sisters, you know?
And yeah, they are.
Sisters-
It's like, well, they're the same person,
is
kind
true.
of.
They're not
I
the
don't
same
know, it's
person.
complicated.
Millennia just lives in Elena. Elena is her home. And she's a night owl.
So we go to. I don't remember how this scene resolves actually.
This is when Millennia pops out and is like, save the drama for your mama. Right? And then,
So cool. That's the 90s, everybody.
I mean, best line of the game as far as I'm concerned. I was like, yeah, you fucking go, girl. I'm fucking Team Millennia, and I'll fight all of you. Elena is a bore. She's the worst. Oh, my God. And she's just such a fucking, like, church mouse. Like, I just want to get God first, whatever. You gross, weird, dead God. Get out of here.
She's dedicated. She's conscientious about her work.
Give me that fun girl.
She-
Give me that fun girl. Hey, Elena can have fun. She just likes to drink juice. She likes to drink juice and sing gospel songs about Granas.
Ugh.
All right, so we go to leave Maregstown. They're like, you should like maybe go towards that island-sized, mile-long cyclone in the middle of the desert.
It's time for
And
another environmental dungeon. I love these.
Yeah,
I love these.
These are the best part of the game, I think.
I agree.
The where you have to get from point A to point B, and there's a couple dungeon screens in between. That's the best part of the game.
There's usually some stupid bullshit you have to do, like push rocks into holes to walk over them, or like.
I think this one is especially bad because you have to make your way down the cliff face,
Yeah.
and there's lots of branching routes to go, and some of them go to treasure, some of them, and it's really, they overlap on each other in really frustrating ways.
I didn't think it was frustrating. I thought this was great. I love these, and this game does this a lot. It uses verticality in its level design in ways that I think is really fun, and I really liked heading up and down this cliff face. It's cool.
I kept triggering those cliff breaks because I wasn't paying enough attention and falling.
There's only
I thought
like
that
3.
they just
Yeah,
like
that-
always go, don't they?
I feel like there's no way to avoid
No,
I
it.
agree.
you can. I
Yeah.
walked around. You can walk around them because you can see that
really?
Oh, you can?
there are little. It's really subtle, but there's like little cracks, and you can walk like closer to the side of the cliff
Oh man, I didn't even try.
or wall of the cliff, I should say. Yeah, you can get around.
But eventually, you make your way down the cliff and through the desert, and you come upon a wall of wind that you cannot break through. But at the base of the wall of wind are a bunch of TOs.
A lot of conveniently placed pieces of other TOs. Which, like, I guess they've been here for like 10,000 years, but also they're on top of the sand. Whatever, TO.
I don't know that it's been 10,000 years. This feels like pretty recent to me, but I don't really know.
Oh, you think so?
1,000 years.
Not like 10 years ago, but like
You
a
think it
couple
was just
hundred
like
years.
50
But you're right.
years ago, Granas fought Valmar?
Yeah. Tio gets a cool scene where she like takes one of their heads and like communicates with it.
Yeah, you get like a radar kind of sound effect thing happening. It's pretty fun.
And then she immediately tells us that we have to go to stop the cyclone. We have to go into Demon's Law, which guess what? It's right there. What's a Demon's Law? Doesn't explain it. Looks like a spaceship, maybe.
It doesn't. Yeah. She's like there might be, but I'm not really sure. Maybe a control panel in this thing called Demon's Law.
No,
and
she straight up is like, to turn the cyclone off, we must go into Demon's Law, and that's fucking it.
And Demon's Law is like a tube in the desert you go into, and then there's like computers, like Tron stuff happening in there.
It's a spaceship.
I like that Demon's Law has LCARS panels, if you know the Star Trek Next Generation UI that Star Trek had for all of the late 80s, all of the 90s. It is that Star Trek UI, and I love it.
Really?
What do you mean by
That's pretty
that?
funny.
Well, it had those flat panels with the sort of L-shaped, like orange and red little areas to press, like in Star Trek. And the name of that design, the people that I forget, those really the people that did all that what do you call that, prop design in Star Trek? They called it LCARS. Yeah, that couple. The husband and wife that did all that. Those.
Interesting. I do love that Star Trek The Next Generation design, Just slide your little finger along it like a touch screen. That's how we make the ship go. God, I love Star Trek The Next Generation. Playing the beginning of Oblivion and hearing Patrick Stewart again, I was like, first of all, he sounds just like Picard. Just like Picard. Like he's reading the lines like he's playing Picard. A, and B, just that hour that you spend with him, I was like, I should watch Star Trek The Next Generation again.
You should watch I, Claudius.
It's not just Patrick Stewart who voices that. Sean Bean, I think, does the voice of Martin, the monk.
Yeah.
Who you're sent.
Oh, really?
That it's
Martin Septum.
Patrick Stewart's character in I, Claudius is amazing, and that show is really fun. It sounds like it's going to be a boring history thing, but that shit is bonkers. And there's
I listened to about half of Elliot Kalin's podcast on it. It sounded fun.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
Anyway, so we go into Demon's Law, right, Jim?
Yeah, this is basically just an arena with 2 mini bosses in it. There's a reskin of the Minotaur we fought when we first met Rowan way back earlier in the game, and then there's 2 big snake ladies that we fight.
Snake ladies.
Yeah, these were some busty snake ladies. I was surprised to see them.
I fought them in handheld mode, so I wasn't really paying attention. I just saw the coiled snake part. I wasn't paying attention to the lady part.
Oh, sorry, John, go ahead.
It's okay. But then you do get to fight another Tio robot, and I thought they were going to kill off Tio right here. And I was like, no. But maybe it's going to be
I was kind of worried about that, too.
A Data lore, and what was the name of that awful third Data bot that came out at the end of that one Star Trek Next Generation movie? B4?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the third Data bot. Anyway, I thought it was going to be like that, where Tio died, but then Tio 2 gets... but no, it doesn't happen. You just fight a Tio bot, and I guess because I check every single nook and cranny, I'm really overpowered in this game.
Yeah.
I have had no problem. You said in the last episode I wasn't on. I did listen to it because, I took notes on it and everything. You
Notes
said
so you
that
could send us feedback.
Yeah, exactly. You said that basically this game's normal mode is easy and hard mode is really more like...
Oh, Matt said that, yeah.
Oh, Matt? Yeah, okay. Other man said that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true, though. If you just play the game as it's intended, it's kind of a slip or slide. It's real easy. Hard to lose.
Well, I think you said that if you run by the enemies, which is a valid thing, then you do get fucked up, but
yeah, you cannot skip encounters. Like if you do all of the game wants you to play every single encounter.
I don't know why you wouldn't. The combat in this game is just such a fucking joy.
Yeah, it's not a big strain. In fact, it's kind of a gift considering how good the combat is. But if you do that, you will have a very easy time with all of the bosses in the game.
Yeah, I had no problem here.
we. I also thought that Tio could possibly die. I did, even though it was kind of generic. I did like Tio's little like I struggle there, where she's like, I am a person. Fuck you. I'm not going back to being a robot. I mean, she doesn't say that, but that's basically what.
This
happens.
felt like a real like Robo from Chrono Trigger getting beat up in the computer dome. Area in Chrono Trigger.
It's a bit generic, but like I didn't.
Yeah.
Generic's okay sometimes. Like I like Tio,
Chrono
and I liked
Dome,
Tio needs a little character time, I think. And this is a cliche, but a good one. So
She's been getting a lot of character time. She's been like, "What is love? What's your feeling?
Mareg is master.
Do I have heart?
love? Mm-hmm. Will
And
you teach Tio to love?
that's it. You
Master.
defeat the other Tio, and then Tio deactivates the cyclone. So cool. We get to head out and go through yet more environmental dungeon.
Well, it's the same dungeon from earlier, and there's like maybe one or two enemies there.
No, once you get through the cyclone, it's not. It's
No, because you exit Demon's Law to get to the Cyclone, and it's just literally going back to where the Cyclone cutscene happened.
Yeah, and then you go and have a new
right
environmental area where it's no longer desert. It's like green again.
I thought you went straight to the body of Valmar.
No.
Maybe you can't.
You have a little. You have a little environmental dungeon there.
That was a little one. Then because we see the Granas saber for the first time.
Yeah,
and the Granas saber is a giant, like skyscraper-sized sword.
It is a spaceship, my friend. That is what it is.
You find out it's a spaceship later.
You don't find out it's a spaceship later, Jim. They don't know. They're like, how will we carry that? But if you have eyeballs in your head, you see it and go, well, that's a spaceship.
Yeah, I saw the second I saw it, I was like, "This has got to be a spaceship. This is the airship."
I didn't think it was. I was like, "Oh my god, it's a spaceship! Wow, wow!" I was like Johnny at every other reveal in every other video game.
How dare you, Prince? No, I knew that because they like the guy at the inn calls him a prince. I mean, I figured
the pirate is the ninja. That game was a piece of shit. Anyway. What happens? Before we get into it, who shows up? Who shows up? That fucking
Celine.
B-word Celine.
The pious, religious cat. She's basically that one character from Midnight Mass. You know, that really mean Catholic lady from the Midnight Mass TV show?
She's great.
Ooh,
Is she the same character as in The Mist?
So good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
oh
she
my
wasn't.
God, The Mist.
No, that's a different lady in The Mist.
But I mean the same general kind of character.
Yeah,
right?
the same archetype. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sure. She's an inquisitor, basically. Like, she's the person that shows up and is like, I'm gonna find a witch and I'm gonna kill them, whether they're fucking, whether that's a real thing or not. I'm killing somebody today.
Yeah, and so she's like, I'm going to. I can't. Why did she do this? She's like, I'm going to sacrifice my knights and then absorb the body of Valmar and become the body of Valmar.
She does
I don't
not
think
become the
that's
body
exactly
of Valmar.
What she's doing?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
First of all,
The heart of Valmar.
she does.
No, that's later.
She's on a cliff above us, and she walks up and starts talking to us, and then a knight walks up beside her, and she tells the knight to sacrifice himself in what I thought was the most hilarious cutscene in the game, when he just the knight walks up to the side of the cliff with his sword pointing straight into the sky in front of his face, and just tips over and falls and dies.
Look, they didn't animate. They
into the
didn't have time
gorge or
to do
whatever.
a whole bunch of new animations for those knights. They just got to march forward, and that's about it.
Yeah, they were working on Mareg's hot tits.
Yeah.
It is. In fact, I tried to capture it. I'm not sure if I got it, but it was very silly the way it just like.
Yeah.
This
It
thing
was
does not
amazing.
have much range of motion. It just fucking tips forward and falls straight down. But that awakens the body of Valmar. I don't think the body's possessing anybody here, right? Is it possessing the dead knight?
I don't know, because it's huge.
Yeah, I think it's just itself. The body's the body.
Yeah,
So what's
it
her
is-
deal? Why is she doing this? She's like, well, I'm going to do this now. And Elena's, why? And then she cuts herself and bleeds and it awakens the body. But I don't understand the motivation, though. I guess it's tied to another reveal.
It's tied to what
She
happens
kind
later.
of tells Elena to remember her job and her destiny and everything.
So Elena calls upon Millennia, who does the body swap with her. They've got the, what are they called, Vanessa? Do you know what I'm talking about? The Negabands. They've got the Negabands. She slams them together. Rick Jones goes into the Negaverse, and the Hulk appears, or Captain Marvel, or whoever comic Rick Jones is starring in
I
these
don't know what
days.
you're talking about.
Oh, you guys are no fun. Millennia appears, and the body is giant. It's a kaiju. It's kaiju-sized. And
It's a big dungeon.
Yeah, what do? We go inside. Millennia tells us that there's got to be, we're like, how are we going to kill that? And Millennia says there's got to be, a core, and if we go inside and stab that thing, this thing will die.
Then I'll eat it up. Nom 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 nom.
Which
nom,
really,
nom,
they're
nom.
like, there's got to be a core. And I don't know why we have to play word games. Just be like, let's go get to its brain and chop it up.
Yeah.
Or its heart, whatever.
Yeah,
This
whatever.
dungeon fucking rocks.
This is the best dungeon in the game, I
Oh my
think.
God. Such a great dungeon. So fucking weird. So just bizarre. Awesome.
I love there are little antechambers you can go into that have this little pulsating button that will pop up and open different doors depending on what door the button is closest to, and that's a fun thing.
It has a flipped. You go through the dungeon and you go through I don't know. It's not super clear. I think it's called the tentacles or something that you travel through the inside of, and it's just kind of an open area, but you're kind of forced along a path through it, and then you get into the arteries. And in the arteries, there are treasure chests that you can see that are on the other side of the floor, on the bottom side of the floor. And then you continue along into, I don't remember what it was called. It's maybe it's the heart. It's a circular chamber that you go into, and you hit a button and it flips around.
Yeah.
So that the
they call it
entrance
That
is now
was
the exit.
that was weird. Well, and I
thought
like
they just
that you
called
can
it
see
the circular chamber or something.
Yeah, the rotation chamber or something like that. Because when you go out
And-
the other side, the underside, the floor of the dungeon before is under you, and you can see a chest on the floor. It's really neat. I like that.
It's
a lot.
awesome. Yeah. Suddenly you're on the other side of the area that you just traversed, and you can open all those treasure chests you saw. It is fucking cool. This dungeon kicks ass. But eventually we make it to the core, and we fight it and kill it. What's the core look like? I kind of don't remember. I guess maybe I'll look it up real quick and we can get a look. Body of Valmar, Grandia 2.
Oh right, yeah. It's a weird little thing with tentacles and a little mouth coming out of its shoulders.
I feel like all these bosses look very similar, They're all
They do,
fucking
yeah.
mouth monsters.
Yeah, this is the boss. Or is this the boss that looks like? No, that's the one after. Never mind. Okay, it's the images are confused. This is the one that's a weird body monster with some heads coming out of it.
Weird body monster.
Wait, no, there are two monsters. One, right?
Are there? I thought there was a tentacle
There's
on each side, and then a central thing.
I thought there was the body of Valmar, which was Valmar's corpse, and then there was the other Pope thing with that looked like the Godzilla monster.
Oh, sorry.
I could be wrong. I can hear a cat.
Yeah, that's fine. She's being a cat. You know how she is.
There was a moth in the house the other day. I think it's still around, actually. And Jack was so excited about it and so cute trying to catch that thing. Then he did catch it, and then he let it go. Because he's, a humanitarian.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Jim, this is like the organs of Valmar. It's got lungs on either side, and then it's got like a little mouth coming out. So it's sort of like, like that. It's just the intestines and lungs, basically, of Valmar. It's a creepy looking boss with like 2 tentacles coming out on either side that you can defeat as well.
Oh, yeah, I like this boss.
Yeah, it's good. The next boss is my favorite, though. I think that's the coolest piece of Valmar. We'll talk about that in a second. You gotta blow up this thing.
Yeah, we defeat the core of the body of Valmar, and Millennia absorbs it. Whoa.
Yeah, and then
Millennia.
Tio is like, hey, this actually isn't a big sword. It's actually a big old spaceship. And let me teleport us to the control center. And then she does.
Mm-hmm.
And
wasn't
now I guess-
expecting it to be a spaceship. I will say that.
I wasn't.
Matt and I figured it out, I guess. But you and
Oh, wow.
you and Jim were surprised.
Well, you've played all those Xenogears games where all these swords are spaceships and doohickeys and all that kind of stuff. So we go to St. Heim where the Pope lives, and we're like, hey, what's up with this, like, your second in command being a real Valmar weirdo and being suicidal and murdering all those people? And he's like, don't worry about it.
As soon as you get there, like as soon as you land in the Squeak-baa field, but the Squeak-baas are gone, so I can't even show you the Squeak-baas now. I was very
that's
upset.
where the
They
Squeak-baas
were never
were.
there. Come on.
showed
They
us a
were
picture of
there.
Nobody believes in Squeak-baas.
Yeah, you land in the Squeak-baa field, and then a villager's like, hey, so, like, the Pope has ordered all the Pope's troops to kill everybody? And Elena's
Well,
like,
they
you
don't
must
know
be
the Pope ordered
misunderstanding.
it. They're just like, everyone's killing everyone.
They think
There's an
they think the Knights
eclipse.
have like rebelled.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
They
It's
think
the
the
Day
Day
of
of Valmar
Darkness.
is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that happens on the way, right? That it suddenly gets dark.
Well,
and
they
everyone's-
say there's a big eclipse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Valmar's moon.
Yeah, has overshadowed the Granas sun.
And the best cutscene, what I call this? One of the best cutscenes of the game happens because you run into Celine, and she's like, hello, I am Celine. I'm a beautiful chanteuse, and I am going to do this all for Valmar. This is all for you, Valmar. And then she gets her troops to raise their swords in their one animation, which is raising their swords. And then she does a little jump. I do a little jump onto them, et je téléphone la police. And
She
She
says
talks
that
a lot
she
about-
loves the Pope.
Yeah, she talks a lot about how much she loves the Pope, and she's doing this for the Pope. And Daddy Pope, please love me.
Pope, Pope, Pope.
so she does that, and she sadly, it's not Snatcher. You don't see the results of her jumping on the swords, except that they do turn into a big beating heart. So I guess you kind of do see what
You know,
happens.
this
Yeah.
seems like a really inefficient way to do this, by the way. Have one of them raise a sword. Jumping onto
but-
10 swords seems like a really stupid idea.
I
mean,
love
it's hard
this,
to it's hard to have an accident on. I mean, you can have an accident on one sword. It's hard to have an accident on 10 swords.
But then the boss is this big heart with all the swords like coming out of the like spikes. It's really cool. I love this art design.
Yeah.
And
So the big reveal here is
yeah.
that Celine is the heart of Valmar.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess also the reveal is that she working for the Pope. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you
always
learn-
use about
you
Daddy.
learn
Pope.
that the
Everyone
Pope
works for the
has a
Pope.
lot of side plans in this episode. So you learn that the Pope has told Celine that she has to absorb these Valmar parts in
And
order
you get
to
some knights
save
attacking
the
you.
world.
You finally get to fight these knights that you knew from the second you saw them. You're going to have to fight.
Yeah, they were going to be enemies.
Yeah. And then you fight the Heart of Valmar, which is a fun... I like this boss fight. And a really cool boss design. And then Elena she's like, we gotta go to this church. And you run after her?
Well, so Elena absorbs the heart once it's defeated.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
Oh, and then she runs to the Pope. That's right.
But Elena absorbed the heart, not Millennia.
Yes, and so like Elena runs to the Pope, right? And then you follow her, and she's like, "Here's the real deal: is that the Pope way earlier when he asked Ryudo to help her was like." The real mission is for you to go find all these parts of Valmar and absorb them, and then I'm going to kill you, and then Valmar is going to die forever.
But that's not what he wants to do.
That's actually not what he wants to do. He has a whole other plan. Which I guess he just reveals right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also,
like,
we get a great reveal of his fucking new portrait where he looks like a psychopath.
Yeah. He has some great like escalating character portraits as he descends into madness, which are amazing. But what he basically says is that he learned that in the big battle of light and dark, Granas actually died. So the god that they worship is dead, and that Valmar lived. And that Valmar's body split into a bunch of different pieces, and that, like, basically, whoever can be possessed by a piece of Valmar and still keep a sliver of their consciousness has basically become like almost like a demigod in a way. And if you absorb all the pieces of Valmar, you become like the new Valmar, which is basically like a superhuman. They say that Valmar and Granas were humans who, after years of studying, figured out how to like ascend to humanity and become godlike figures, and they fought each other. Valmar lived, and so that's Zira's plan. He wants to basically be humanity's salvation, become the new Valmar, destroy humanity, and remake the world in his image.
He also says that there's no good in humanity. They're all just total rubbish all the time.
Yeah, also, like, I can't believe I was able to coherently explain the thrust of the villain in this game. I thought that was very eloquently put.
It's pretty similar to the Seymour Guado motivation.
Yeah.
Very similar, yeah. Agreed.
So this was really shocking for everyone, I'm sure. Nobody saw this coming, that the Pope was going to be evil.
I thought Celine was going to kill the Pope.
I knew Celine was evil, but the Pope seemed pretty nice.
Yeah.
When you met him the first time.
Although Matt, I think, has been saying he's walked away, so I'll say on his behalf. Matt,
literally sitting right here.
This game.
He's literally sitting right in front of you.
And you're not looking at the screen. You're looking down. So.
Well, still say on Matt's behalf, Matt did say from the beginning that the Pope was going to be evil.
Just like all the real popes.
Wow. He's dead, Matt. There is no Pope at the moment. Think about that.
Good.
Wow.
All our Catholic listeners are just signing off here, Matt.
That's fine. You know, one of the biggest purveyor of atrocities in human history. The Catholic Church.
All right.
All right. Well, I see that the facts make you uncomfortable, snowflake.
Okay.
Are we talking about all the abuses that the Catholics have committed on the rest of humanity over the last
I like that
1,000
the
years?
Pope talked to J.D. Vance. Well, first of all, the Pope lived long enough that when J.D. Vance came, he sent his second in command to like chew J.D. Vance out for being an asshole, which is great.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to comment too much on American politics, but I liked I thought that was a smooth
I feel like,
move.
JD Vance was in Rome when that happened, I think. I think that's geopolitics.
Mm-hmm. And this Pope...
we are not... We're not conspiracy theorists here, but if we were, we might have some theories.
I think that he was very old and dying. Like, I don't think it was
I think
anything
it was a
J.D.
bit of
Vance
a
did.
divine comedy.
But Pope Francis was one of the more progressive popes, but also, yes, Matt is right. There is a huge history of awful things coming out of the Catholic Church.
Hey,
That
best
continues
pope
to pour out of the
ever,
Catholic Church, by the way.
which is not a high bar to clear.
Yeah, I do hope that the new pope, although apparently I don't get a vote, which is bullshit, I
Jude
hope
Law.
the new pope is as progressive.
Because you're a woman.
You should go to
Yeah.
Rome and put up your own smoke signals. You know what I mean?
Well,
Fuck their smoke
I do
signals.
always think every time they elect a new pope, I think maybe there's an outside chance. I mean, all it takes is one vision from God visited upon all the cardinals saying that Vanessa girl should be pope.
You know
You
what?
should do what Marty McFly does to his dad, which is like put headphones on him, play some Van Halen, and then pretend you're an alien from outer space and get him to
Oh,
get
yeah,
them to
yeah,
do
that's
whatever
a good
you want.
idea.
You know what really, if you want to have some real talk for a moment, you know what really makes me nervous is the possibility that we get a black man or a Hispanic man as the Pope. Because if I have to hear the phrase DEI Pope said even once in seriousness, I might start cutting people's heads off. Like, I might go full.
I don't. What one? I think if that did happen, where if they elected like a quote unquote like racial minority or ethnic minority or sexual minority pope, I don't think that would happen.
Ain't
I
no
feel
sexual
like that would
minorities
put,
in the Catholic Church, Jim.
I feel like that. Yeah, it's true. I feel like that would put like a lot of conservatives in a really weird position. That might be the thing that breaks them. Maybe.
Nah,
Look,
if
I
Trump
mean,
couldn't break them, nothing can break them.
As I said, I don't get a vote, but I do want to say that one of the potentially leading candidates is named Pier Battista Pizzaballa. And
He's about
Pope Pizzaballa.
just
That's a
putting
fun
it out there
time.
that Pope Pizzaballa.
Pope.
Well, they always
Pizzaballa.
change their names.
Really
They'll be
turn
like Pope
things around.
John, and we'll all be really disappointed.
Oh, they all like picked the name that they think would sound cool if they became a saint.
Is that how it works? Is that it?
Yeah,
pretty-
Saint Pizzaballa sounds amazing.
I agree.
It does, yeah.
The patron saint of pizza balls. Come
If
on.
if I was Pope and I had to change my name, all right. Question for the group: if you were elected Pope and had to change your name, what would your Pope name be? Jim,
Oh, don't call me first.
Johnny.
I gotta Google it.
why would you have to Google it?
Let's see.
I wanna
What
Google
was
Pope names.
what was the name of the guy? Like one of the sons, or what was the name of the bad guy in Mad Max Fury Road?
The
Joe, Immortan Joe.
yeah, Morton
Yeah,
Joe.
Pope Morton.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Or
Pope
Scrotus,
Innocentius
his son.
off the table though, because that's too on the nose for this game. Vanessa,
I guess Pope Rhapsodic.
Rhapsodic.
Oh, that's very poetic.
Yeah. Poetic.
Jim. He's looking at Pope names like he's going to pick a real one. I think you've
I
misunderstood
know.
the assignment.
I know.
He's at popenamegenerator.com. As are all
I'm
the
just
cardinals right
looking
now.
at the Wikipedia of list of popes. I want to be Pope. I'm just gonna.
What was the
scroll to a
one that you
random
killed
spot
in
on
Assassin's Creed 2? You can be the next one of those.
Jeez.
page. It's probably a John. I want to be a Pope. Pope Calixtus.
It's a good one. I like that. I feel like I would want to go with something memorable, but also tied to the church. So, like, maybe Pope Jesus. Do you
Maybe
think
I
I
could
could
be
rename myself
Pope
Jesus?
Ursus. What do you think about Pope
That's
Ursus?
a good one. Pope Ursus. Pope Ursus is
Ursus
good.
is great.
What about like Pope Hulk Hogan?
Pope Jesus the First. That's my, or maybe like Pope Easter. Like I'm Pope Easter. You know?
Oh,
Maybe
nice.
I'd just go with Popette, as the first female
Popette,
Pope,
yeah.
it seems like.
Okay, but that invokes
Pope Santa Claus.
That invokes like Bowsette imagery. So like, are you willing to go
Pope
the whole
Bowser.
9 yards and like wear the black and the leather and the spikes and the high heels?
Oh.
Absolutely not. I think it invokes Smurfette imagery, and I would wear the normal Pope outfit, but with a big pink bow on top of my pointy hat.
It's a real Gen X point of view, Vanessa. Bowsette
What,
is what
Smurfs?
the kids are into these days. Yeah, Smurfs, the 70s cartoon.
There's a new
It's based
Smurf
on a comic
movie
book from the
coming out.
60s.
Did you guys know
Shush.
that there's a new Smurfs movie coming out?
No, why?
Who cares?
wants
There's
that?
Because they're
There's
popular
another
in
one
Belgium
coming
and
out.
France. Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right.
So
What about
the
Pope
Pope
Hat?
tells us.
What if I just named myself Pope Hat?
Pope hat?
Is that a Twitter account?
I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
Pope Hat.
But popes
Everyone's
wear weird
favorite Twitter.
hats.
Yeah.
What's Elon Musk's
So-
kid's name? I would be Pope that. Pope
Pope
X2.
X,
three
yeah,
things.
X2, Alpha
So
Psi,
How do you pronounce
Sigma, underscore tilde, picture
So
of an emoji.
Pope
of
Innocent
somebody
Oh,
is
with
I
a-
think how
Zira.
you pronounce that is Adolf.
Ah, that's not nice.
Hey,
That's
Jim,
not that
you know what?
kid's
Jim
fault.
should be Pope Sora.
Oh,
yeah.
hey. Or Pope Alan Wake.
Make it Latin sounding. Alanus Wacus or something. Anyway,
Sora,
so
because he's
this
going to make
Pope.
the butts of all those cardinals Sora. Am I right?
Oh,
Am I right?
so this Pope
How about
is like
Oxpy?
Sorry, altar boys.
Well, it
This
wasn't going to go
Pope
there,
is
Jim,
like-
but you decided to do it for me.
the Pope in this game says, "Hey,
John, you can't keep
I'm
talking
gonna-
about the game. We are.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I was going to talk about Pope Oxpy. That's the nobody of the Pope.
Oh,
It's me, Oxpy.
I'm going to have to cut that altar boy joke, and it's a real shame. You know what? I'm not going to cut it. So, Pope Innocentius.
Yeah, the Pope is bad.
The Pope is bad. He's got the best. John, you gotta use one of the screen caps.
yeah, I
of
have
Evil
plenty
Pope.
of those. Yeah,
Oh, I'll
I
put
got
a
lot of
bunch.
those.
I'll put mine for my Steam Deck on the share drive too. I took like probably 50 screenshots between now and the end of the game. I took a ton.
It is a great profile picture. He looks fucking nuts. He's like that screaming face. Ah!
You should use that as your profile
Pretty
picture
cool.
on social media.
Are you calling me ugly? Jesus Christ, John.
That's not what? No, I just thought it'd be fun.
Are you calling me
Anyway.
evil or insane? Which one are you?
I just thought it'd be a fun bit, but I guess not. I guess it's not.
bullying Matt.
Yeah, it's just a joke on me.
So there,
John's saying that,
so
but
the
under
Pope,
the table he's kicking me and he's winking at me like, yup.
So the Pope casts a big red ball around himself and Elena, and she goes zip
yeah.
zap zoop all the
Oh
way
yeah,
to the
he
moon.
steals her.
It's
All the way to
"Later,
the
I'm going to the
fucking
fucking moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
If going inside the body of a kaiju was not good enough for you, JRPG fans, guess what we're doing? Got to hit that classic trope. We're going to the moon.
To
Yep.
the motherfucking moon.
We're whalers on the moon.
And luckily, we have a spaceship.
Every
It's
time-
the big giant
Yeah.
sword we found.
I'm surprised they took
Every-
Elena because we all know the moon is for boys.
The moon is for boys. It's kind of like, no girls allowed.
Okay, we skipped an important cutscene.
Okay.
Before Pope Zira teleports himself and Elena to the moon. He takes us to a secret room in his Pope house where you teleport. There's a teleportation. Never seen one of these in the game before. It's a weird rainbow wavelength on the ground that teleports you to another room. You go into this weird room full of weird sci-fi relics, and he, on a TV basically, shows you the history of the world. I have a real question about this. What he shows us is that during the battle of good and evil, between good and evil, Granas and Valmar used the TO monsters to fight. And you said this, that Granas died and Valmar won, but got broken up into all of these pieces. In this cutscene, the way it is shown is a bunch of spaceships fighting each other in space.
Yeah, there's I will say that there's more about this later.
Okay, well, I don't want to talk about what's going to happen later in the part of the game I haven't played yet. So stuff a fucking sock in your mouth, Jim.
I'm just saying, I can't explain it, but I don't want to because it would be a spoiler.
Are Granas and Valmar aliens?
No.
Oh my god, he spoiled it.
I told him to stuff his sock in his mouth. Now you have to put a dirty sock in your mouth and shut up. Johnny and Vanessa are Granas and Valmar aliens.
Maybe.
Your name is not
Jim
Johnny
said.
and Vanessa! Son of a bitch.
Jim's
I
already
swear to
said
God.
no. I'm going with Jim's choice. Vanessa.
I think that they are from this planet, but they are future tech.
Future tech.
And I think
so
it's one
this
of
is
those
a Journeyman
situations
3
where-
situation.
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Okay. All right. I think they're aliens, and I don't care what Jim says. He's wrong. Jim is notorious for misunderstanding the things that happen in these games. These are aliens. In fact, I kind of think they might be two alien races, the Granas and the Valmar.
That was Journeyman. You're thinking of Journeyman 3 Legacy of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the edutainment classic.
Yeah.
This is pretty Xeno. Remember that opening of Xenogears where they're on that spaceship and then like this thing went crazy and started taking over the spaceship?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Boy, do I remember that game? Because I played that whole fucking thing, and it is like a blank spot in my mind.
That was a rough
right.
one.
So we go to the moon.
We
Moon,
hop
moon,
in our
moon.
own spaceship. Did anybody else get lost and have a hard time refinding our spaceship?
No.
Yes. I was like, I couldn't remember where. I had to look it up. Like, where did.
Because
the
I'd been there
spaceship-
before. It was in the Squeak-baa pasture.
Oh, I had never been there before. So.
Same, and I circled through this town 6 times, going behind all of the houses. There's a weird loop that takes you back out. I couldn't fucking find it. I almost had to go to a guide, and then I finally... I have hiccups now.
Oh, look, Matt got so upset by all these spoilers that he's got hiccups.
Vanessa, I have hiccups. Take over.
Okay. So we're probably on the moon or something at this point. And,
Okay, Johnny, take over.
Oh yeah, we're on the moon, so we land there, and we decide to what Ryuta was like, just stab it, just stab into the moon. The moon is just Valmar,
Yeah.
so you can just stab inside it, and then we can just walk around inside Valmar. Even though this does look like a very big moon, and you think walking around would take a while, it's only like an hour walk from the sword to the inside of Valmar, which is pretty fun.
the inside of Valmar Moon is very fleshy.
Yeah, well, it's a lot like the inside of Valmar's body. Remember?
Yeah.
Like the last
It
dungeon?
is, yeah.
This
This
is
is the one that
this
has
is
the
less
little...
fun than that.
But this one
Is
does
this the
have the
one that
little
has
pillars.
the little pulsing buttons?
Yeah, this has the pulsing buttons.
I like this one better.
Yeah, well, yeah. It has the teeth gates that you can open by cutting little fiber strands. Little
I like
nerves.
that too.
But it is full of annoying enemies. Like because I've been leaning so hard on fire, having enemies that are immune to fire was a little annoying, but I made do. I just swapped some stuff around. use lightning.
Are there fire enemies on the moon?
They are immune. They're the geckos are immune to fire, and I think the guys who throw their little friend are immune to fire.
Really, I feel like for the rest of the game, John, like this is a pro tip: lean away from the burn spells a little bit.
Yeah.
Go to ice and lightning, especially. Those will like carry you through the rest of the game for sure.
Yeah, I've got some ice. I don't know if I've maxed out all the ice. I know I did like crackling.
There's only like 1 or 2 eggs that even have ice spells. So
yeah.
So you have gotten at this point I believe it's the gravity egg. And if you look at the description, it says that it is the ultimate offensive spell.
That's not the gravity one. That's the star one is the ultimate mana egg.
Star egg, yeah.
Okay, so you've gotten that one. So when I saw that description, I realized I should probably ditch this chaos egg I've been using this whole game and use this.
Yeah, I put soul egg on Elena when she was in the party, and then I put that on Mareg through this dungeon because Elena's kidnapped. You only have 3 characters, and I put Star on Tio.
Star has so Jim's right, and you're right. Obviously, a lot of these monsters are immune to fire, and Jim is saying lean on ice and electricity. I'll tell you what the perfect spell for this dungeon is, and it is the boom spell on that star egg. If you max that thing out, it will wipe the entire field every single time.
Oh, wow.
Instantly.
Okay, I should use that more.
Instantly.
I used it once, and I didn't pay attention to what happened.
That boom spell is fucking awesome. And she casts it instantly. So
yeah.
If Tio is the first person in the party to go, the fight lasts under 5 seconds. It's a goddamn delight, and I love it. Also, Jim, I did start to notice this week what you had mentioned last week, which is that the special voiceover that you get when you when you
get like
don't
a
get
flawless
hurt.
victory.
Yeah, you get like a flawless victory.
Yeah.
I had when I noticed that some shop had some nut or fruit or something that would restore like 50 MP, I bought like 100 of them.
Yeah, if you find like I didn't know this until the end of the game. I wish I would have realized this earlier, but that regional section of the general store has the best stuff because it's always stuff that refills your SP and MP and like all that really all the stuff that you want at the end of the game is sold way earlier. So like go to that little regional menu section and buy all that stuff if you can.
It's too bad because you kind of can't go back, but they do tend to sell that stuff.
I know, you really can't. Like that bao fruit that I mentioned in the last episode, probably the most useful item because it restores like 30 or 40 SP, which is like what you want.
Also, if you max out that fruit, you get that mana egg, you get the second boom spell, the second explosion spell. There's the
Ba-boom.
No, I don't know that I have Ba-boom yet, but there's boom, and then there's like meteor strike, and
there's meteor strike.
Visually, it is my favorite spell in the game. A meteor the size of the moon crashes into the enemy. It's my favorite kind of spell in these games. The kind of spell that if somebody really cast it, it would wipe out life on the planet.
Just wait till you see Ba-boom. It's insane.
And so that is what I relied on for this chunker, and I ripped through this fucking moon. Like none of these enemies were even remotely challenging because I was just one-shotting the whole field. And
well, I feel like
if you use that thing that you get in the books that raises their intelligence, raises their explosion spell
the
power,
chance.
And then on top of that you get one that raises their mana, like Tio or whoever I have it on will have like 200 to 300 mana points or whatever they're called in this game. And that boom spell costs 10 points, so you can just just walk through this fucking dungeon. Like, it was a joke.
There are accessories you can get in this area of the game too. Like if you go explore, that will cut down your MP and SP consumption by at least like 15 up to 25%, which is pretty insane.
It's tough because you want to stick that on Ryudo, but for your basic fights, you want to have that 4 combo item on him. And you have to choose between the two.
I know.
You really have to remember, like you have to realize you're about to get in a boss fight and swap it for the boss fight because you want it for a boss fight, but otherwise,
at a certain point, it's pretty much nothing but boss fights. The whole next chunk is basically all boss fights. So,
I mean, you can kill these bosses in 4 turns.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to say, in fact, I didn't mention it earlier. When I fought that body of Valmar, I killed that thing in 3 turns. I did not take a single fucking hit. I did not get hit once.
Yeah, you can like get a flawless victory on bosses here, and it's pretty fun.
Anyway, we go to the moon. Classic JRPG bullshit.
Yeah. Were you guys surprised by this? Does this qualify as a disc 3 crazy?
Oh shit, that's a phrase we haven't used in so long.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
I think
it does.
Classic disc 3 crazy. Like going to the moon, it doesn't get wilder than that in a fantasy game.
I know. We went off world and there are popes and monsters, and this is like a real synthesis of like the first like 5 years of the show, I think. Like this game.
I would say from the minute you enter the body of Valmar, this game has gone full-fledged disc 3 crazy. It's been nothing but insanity ever since then. And absolutely, yeah, this moon is I mean, we've played a lot of these games, and you know what? You go to the moon more often than you would think for what are essentially fantasy games. Yeah, but it still took me by even though they've talked about this moon so many times that when we went to the moon, I was like, I should have seen this coming.
Yeah, me too.
But also, like, they're like hunter-gatherers. Like, how are they going to get to the moon?
With the ship.
Yeah.
Their brand new spaceship.
They have a spaceship now.
Yeah, it's a sword.
I guess.
They have a sword that the minute you looked at it, you should have been like, that's a spaceship.
The big sword their god dropped. Oops, it's also a spaceship.
That big triangular angled thing that has wings and engines on the back of it, you know, the sword.
Yeah.
Anyway, we go to the moon and we fight through it. And, you know, it's another dungeon. I don't have a lot to say about the moon. Other than the farting doors. I did like the farting doors.
Burp. There's more of a burp. It was like,
yeah, you're right. It's more of a burp.
Teeth doors. This was a better. I liked the whole stepping on all the little buttons to get to the next thing. That was a cute little detail, and the lowering the platforms that either had monsters on them or special bits of armor. Yeah. But you get to the end of that, and then you're fighting this weird tentacle thing. Actually, first a lot of stuff happens.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happens. We confront Zura, whatever his fucking name is.
Zora.
Zoro.
It's Valmar, basically.
We confront Pope Zoro, and he's like, I'm going to become Valmar. I'm going to become the new god of this world, yada, yada, yada. He spouts a lot of bullshit. The important thing is that he puts Elena in a gross machine, I guess, like organic machine. And it's like, I'm gonna kill you and take all the parts. I don't really know. Jim,
he's like, I'm gonna like suck the Valmar out.
It is the womb,
and then I'm gonna be all of Valmar.
Valmar's womb that he puts her into.
Yeah, it looked like an egg cooker.
Lady.
Like, have you ever seen those things where it's like round and you can put 6 different eggs in it and then boil them up together or something?
Oh, I have one of those. That's
exactly what this looked like.
Yeah,
And
I bought one during the
full of
pandemic.
eggs. We all know this. That's how a lady part works.
The little egg carousel things. That's how you make
what a womb
hard-boiled
is.
eggs in like 4 minutes. Yeah.
He puts her in the egg carousel.
Yeah. We're all just little hard-boiled buddies.
And unfortunately,
He's
there is like a glass barrier between them and the party and the Pope, who has put her into this weird H.R. Geiger / David Cronenberg machine.
Yep. This annoyed me, actually. Like, Ryudo, like, gang, we can call meteors from space that are so large they would
spaceship's a
wipe out the
sword.
dinosaurs. Your spaceship is a sword, but you can't pop this bubble, I guess. But the Pope does manage to pull Millennia out of Elena. Oh, shit.
Finally.
I feel like we all knew it was
Ryoto's
coming, right? Like, this was definitely going to happen
dreams come
Of a
true.
threesome.
He's got
Yeah.
both ladies, one on each arm. That's not what happened.
on his
because
arms. That's where he wants those ladies.
yeah, he wants to. We walk around town with the two hottest girls in town. And fortunately, that's not what happens, because Pope is like, okay, now I got Millennia here, and I'm gonna absorb Millennia's bits into the new body of Valmar and create new Valmar, and Elena's gonna die too. So this is all great. Everything's coming up Popey here.
But the Pope doesn't know what we know,
Yeah.
which is that the most important part of Valmar, his horniness, is in Ryudo.
I mean, the horn of Valmar is like a euphemism for his penis, right?
Absolutely. He's not going to be able to
Absolutely.
reproduce.
The dick of Valmar is not there, so his whole plan falls apart. Millennia, I don't know, she's like getting sucked into the womb and then fights it somehow and is able to eject Elena out of the womb and to Ryudo, and gives us the whole, like, you know, save her, I loved you.
Ryoto, why? I hate you because I love you so much. It's very emotional.
But she also acknowledges, she's like, look, Elena is me. So save Elena, take her. That's me, dude.
Yeah, she does. You're right. So Millennia fires Elena out of the
womb.
Uterus.
Yeah.
Like,
Is the
and
uterus
so
the same as a
Elena-
womb? Is that the same thing?
So Elena, along with all of the lining of the uterus,
I don't
comes
know.
firing out at Ryudo,
You have a child.
I know.
which is definitely what he deserves. He pulls her out of that bloody soup and does take her and run. He's a bit like,
Well,
Millennia.
Millennia zaps them, right? Millennia like zaps them to the front of the cave, basically.
No, they. Well, I don't think so. But you played
Yeah,
more recently than
I
me, and
just
my
played
brain,
it.
They
my
go
brain is
down
Swiss
in the
cheese,
Granas
basically.
saber, I thought.
Well, no,
But no,
when
we
she
have to go
zaps
run
them like
through a whole
away.
goddamn thing. We have to fight.
You still have to run through a thing. She just zaps them out of the uterus or womb. Or maybe they're the same thing. Who's to say? No one on this podcast knows. It's fine. And then you got a little a mini boss rush. Which
Vanessa,
is,
we
and
know
you
that
can't
you know.
save.
I don't know.
What do you
to
not
say?
know?
I don't know where babies come from.
Fucking liar.
So now you have a mini boss
This
rush.
episode
There's no
sucks.
healing. There's no saving before this stupid mini boss rush. I was very upset.
Did we even talk about the boss fight that we had to do? Did we even
Oh,
mention
yeah,
There's
you
it?
do
not
have to-
much to say about it.
Yeah,
it's the
he-
Egg Guardian.
he-
It's Velmar's IUD, and
Yeah.
it just
It's
kind
got
of
tentacles. It's got little bugs that hang out around it, and it spits out more bugs. I like this
I've just
boss.
been
It's got
following
angry
Jim's advice
faces.
of just fight the main thing, and it always works. It's
Well,
It does.
I really, really like the design of this boss. Like it's sort of the solid core of it is screaming faces. Like, you know when Freddy lifts up his shirt and it's full of screaming faces? It's like that.
The bosses get so like weird from here to the end of the game.
they've been
It's
weird from the
crazy.
start.
Yeah, they have always been like weird body part bug things.
So you fight that, and then it explodes, and that's when you get this whole scene, and Millennia dies. She gets absorbed into the womb. She's
I
like,
don't know.
I
I'm not buying it.
you. Don't forget me. And then you gotta do this boss rush of like medium difficult enemies, and they might take a round or two to defeat. And Mareg is like, okay, we gotta run, you guys run to the Granas saber. I'm holding them off. And Teal's like, but Mareg, you must come with us. We are ready to leave. And he's like, I'll be there in a second. But he's not. He gets stabbed through by a little bug thing. And then there's blood in his portrait. And you know, if there's blood coming out of your mouth in a portrait in a JRPG, you are not living through this.
You're effed. Yeah.
And that's when you get some
really surprised me.
Is this a first for us, I think, where we have lost 2 party members in one go, basically?
Yeah. And
we lose
like
Millennia
30
and
minutes.
Mareg. Like that.
There's a whole cutscene of Mareg fighting them off, and he can't fight them off forever. And in this cutscene, his Bara Tiddies are like amazingly depicted. That's all I can say.
I want to say, first of all, I'm glad that you appreciated it. But second of all, this is the worst looking cutscene I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think any of the other cutscenes had the main characters in it, right? Like humanoid characters.
Sometimes,
but
they'll be
many,
like
John. Like maybe less than 5 in the whole game.
There are like shots of them from behind. You never really see them. And yeah, you get like a full-on cutscene of Mareg standing with his spear, and he looks so radically different from his fucking character model that it could be a different person, and I would be like, yeah, that's Mareg, his gross brother.
I feel like someone like there's a when was this game released? 1999, 1997. One of those.
You picked this game. You have to know these facts.
When this game was being developed,
2000?
someone described this character in Japanese and then sent it to John, and they're like, render this in 3D. And this was John. This was John translating this character into 3D.
It was all tits.
It's all
man tits. He looks terrible, and and Mareg fucking dies, which I gotta say, didn't feel like needed to happen. Like, you were right by the ship. Just get on the fucking ship.
He had something to prove, and also things were getting really weird with Tio, and he probably didn't really intend for her to like become
glom onto him like that
with him. But yeah,
and then afterwards she's like,
out of this situation.
Ryudo, I now understand what it means to have a heart, and I hate it.
But
I
also,
now know what love is, but it is something I can never do.
So Mareg dies.
It's I know now why you cry, but it's something I can never do.
Yeah. What a great movie. Mareg dies.
It is a great movie.
We hop on the Granas saber and head back to Earth and crash land right outside of Cyrum. But as we do so, we see a bunch of the bug monsters from the moon have landed on Earth, and they are attacking.
Oh my gosh,
they rode our
monsters.
spaceship to Earth. We did.
You think that's what happened?
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what they think, yeah.
They do show them on the spaceship, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, they showed it, yeah.
They're all
Whoops.
insects and stuff, too. It's kind of lame.
These things look like bigger versions of the antlions from Half-Life. They've given me antlion vibes. But yeah,
Well,
we crash landed just outside of Cyrum Kingdom.
Well, they dig.
Yeah. And next time on Square Roots, we're going to finish Grandia 2.
Whoa.
So you said there's a
I'm gonna finish the
secret
shit out of this
dungeon.
game.
What's the secret dungeon called?
Yeah. So right after basically like right when this chunker ends, you can walk out of this little area outside of Cyrum Kingdom and go back to Rowell Hills, which is a dungeon an environmental dungeon we talked about on the last episode. but it's filled with super hard enemies. And if you go back to where that maze ruins thing was, there's only one type of enemy in there, but it's an enemy that can kill your entire party if you don't sneak up on it. So make sure to like get initiative on it every single time and use all your most powerful spells immediately. But there's the best items in the game there. Like there's items there that will double your experience, that can double your special points, that will give you like 10,000 magic points. Like go like clear that whole dungeon and you will slide through the rest of this game. It's worth it for sure.
I gotta do it. All right,
and it's not even that long.
So, Jim, what are you roundly for, or squarely against with this chunker?
I'm roundly for how weird this game gets. Like it's like even though I like the writing in this game and it's really fun to play, like it felt generic to the point of almost being like a stereotype of a JRPG, and then it just kind of really leans into like how bad religion is.
I knew that Pope was gonna be bad.
It's like Matt wrote this game.
I know, yeah, it really won me over with how cynical it is. It's pretty great. So yeah, I was really on board for this. I was enjoying playing it, but also kind of getting bored with it, and I thought it was going to kind of fizzle out at the end, but it really goes for it. John, what are you squarely against or roundly for?
I'm roundly for his round Bara Tiddies.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Matt?
You know what? I'll just say I really fucking loved that Body of Valmar dungeon. I thought it really was top tier, maybe not design, but like just so weird and surprising to be like running through its fucking arteries and all that stuff that I fucking loved that section of the game. Also roundly for killing off 2 characters at once. Wild stuff, though I do kind of expect Millennia to come back. I don't think we've seen the last of her. But this chunker, I don't really necessarily agree with Jim. Like it was fairly cliche, but I think that Ryudo's character is as shitty as he was at least like kind of fun and interesting. Like don't get me wrong, like I'm not like, yeah, I love misogyny, but like otherwise, like he was fun.
That's the title of the episode.
I love misogyny.
I love misogyny.
But yeah, this one really won me over as well. It's just a absolutely fucking bizarre series of dungeons. It's the story pops off, and not for nothing, but it's pretty timely that evil Pope and the Pope's dead, and
I know, right?
I don't know, man. It tickled me. Vanessa, what are you roundly for or squarely against?
I am roundly for the Pope's sprite art. As he becomes more and more insane, it's really fantastic. At first, he just sort of has round, dead little fisheye thing going on, and then at some point he gets so crazy that he takes his hat off, and he has that red streak of hair. Or
what is that?
I think it's his hair. I thought it was a gash in his head at first, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just his weird hair. And I think it's great. I think they put a lot of love into his look, and it paid off. He looks great.
All right, that's it for this week's video game corner. I think, right? Everybody squarely against?
That's what we should call the quest log from now on.
Video game corner.
The video game corner.
So now it's the time of the show where we do our cool level ups. And if you don't mind, I would like to start us off by telling you all the story of how Matt hurt his shoulder.
Oh yes,
boy.
please.
Yes.
I went to my brother's house this past weekend with my family to celebrate my daughter's birthday. He made a nice lasagna. She loves Italian food. She was very excited. And later in the evening, I was throwing the football around a bit with my son and my brother. Specifically, they were throwing the football, and my son wanted me to block him. So after doing this a few times, I got into the rhythm, and by blocking him, I was pushing him onto the ground, lightly, gently. But I did that, and I lost my balance. We're running around. I lost my balance. And as I lose my balance, I realize that I am a foot away from the street, and I am going to fall onto the asphalt. Now, I don't know if you've ever fallen onto asphalt, but it's a fucking nightmare. It's going to cut you to shreds. It's going to be gross and terrible. So what I did is I instinctively, I guess, saw what was happening. I'm running into the street, and I'm losing my balance. I'm going to fall. And so what I did is I started windmilling, okay? Arms flailing like a madman, desperately trying to keep my feet underneath me. I do not want to eat.
That's the opposite of a survival instinct, I think.
Well, I mean, if I hit that concrete, I'm dead. Asphalt, not concrete. If I hit that asphalt, I'm dead. It's going to tear me to shreds. So I'm windmilling, and I managed to make it all the way across the street. Throwing my fucking feet down, just trying to stay up. I get across.
Hold on. If anyone out there has footage of Matt windmilling across an entire street, will you please email it to squarespodcast@gmail.com.
John's doing a great.
Matt, maybe edit in a banana peels slipping into the street, and that just continuing to slip on it. And that would be pretty.
Picture
great.
this in your mind. As I'm doing this, I'm getting lower to the ground. You know what I mean? When your balance is shot and you're going down, I'm getting lower and lower to the ground. I managed to make it all the way across the street, and I see that sweet, sweet grass, and I'm like, time to fall. It's fine. Thank God there's the grass. I'm gonna eat it, but at least it's gonna be the soft grass and not that terrible asphalt. And when I do so, I go shoulder first into the ground. The fullness of my weight behind me. Now, I fucked my shoulder up a few years ago throwing a fucking bowling ball like an idiot. And then I exacerbated it by throwing the football with my son out in the street. So it's been bothering me for a couple of years, to the point that when I was last at the doctor in March, I told him, my shoulder's fucked up. Maybe you should give me a referral to an orthopedist so that I can do something about it, because I'm tired of my shoulder hurting all the time. And I can usually pop it and it'll feel fine for a little bit. Anyway, I hit the fucking ground, and at first I was like, whew, didn't hit that asphalt, and then the pain hit, and I laid on the ground for 20 minutes. I was like, my brother's like, should I call an ambulance? And I'm like, no. Don't call an ambulance, but I am in hell. I'm a dead man. This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
I would have been like, you want to play Grandia right
now? And that's the story of how Matt hurt his shoulder. Thankfully, I did go get an x-ray this week. I didn't break anything. I didn't dislocate anything. There's no fractures. It does hurt constantly. And it's been a rough week. That's how Matt leveled up. Thanks for enjoying my story. I did watch another 100 episodes of One Piece.
So many episodes.
I'm skipping chunks because chunks are not show canon stuff, that the filler stuff I've been skipping, so that helps.
I enjoyed your story. Thank you for sharing it with us, Matt.
Also, don't talk shit on chunks. We make our money on chunks. That's how we do our show on chunks.
If we were cereal, we'd be Chunkios.
Chunkarinos.
Chunkarinos.
Anyway, I watched some more One Piece. That show is pretty fun. It's funny. I have realized that it's the type of show where there's blocks. It's like the opposite of Dragon Ball for me, where like in Dragon Ball, you're waiting for the blocks where the fights are going to happen, and that's the good stuff. And in One Piece, the blocks where the fights are going to happen are like the worst part of the show. It's terrible. But the blocks in between, when they're just like on a fun adventure, are really fun. And the show is really funny and makes me laugh a lot. Like there's a character named, what's his name? His name's Chopper. He's a reindeer who's like an anthropomorphic reindeer. And he doesn't know how to hide. So every time he wants to hide from somebody, he always like, say he wants to hide behind a barrel. He like puts half his face behind the barrel and his whole body and half of his face is sticking out. Just picture that in your mind. It's very silly. It's a good show. I hate it when they fight. When it's like, I hit one today where I was like, oh boy, we're going to get 8 episodes of like people talking about how they're going to kill each other. And
okay, I do
throwing
like
one
the
punch.
chopper design a lot. It looks a bit like, you ever play those Taiko Drum Master games? It looks like characters from that.
Chopper's delightful, and the characters are delightful. They do all sorts of silly stuff, and they're very funny. And when it's like an adventure show, it's a great time that I really enjoy. And honestly, the fight stuff is less of it than you would think. So, like, you know, I'm not telling the 3 of you to go watch it, but anybody out there that's listening that's thought about it before, like, it's a pretty fun show. I really like it. It's a good time. And that is how I leveled up. I'll talk a bit about Claire Obscura, but I'll talk about that with Jim. So, Jim.
Yeah, it's what, Thursday, April 24th at 10:36 p.m. I got up to play Claire Obscure. Let's see, that was 10.5 hours ago. I'm at midnight, 7 hours, almost 18 hours ago, to play the pre-installed version of Claire Obscure I put on my Xbox a few days ago, and gosh dang it, what a great game.
That explains why I woke up this morning to all of those messages from you.
I seriously got up, like my alarm went off at 3:40, and I got out of bed at 4 a.m. and went and started playing Claire Obscure. And gosh dang it, what a great game. It's a good game. Honestly, it feels like I'm the king of recency bias, right? Like, I'm probably exaggerating a lot. But also, it feels like it feels like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It has like real, like, it's super polished, like
a good Final Fantasy game where it's got like an interesting world and really fucking polished visuals and really polished combat, and it's just fun as shit to like, and you just want to dive in.
It feels like Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
It does. It feels like Final Fantasy X, like playing Final Fantasy X for the first time. Like a really like kind of alien but still relatable like video game world, and like really interesting protagonists and lots of cool stuff happening in the back. This is a good game.
I'll tell you what.
So I'm having
my opinion on that is that it's doing a lot of things that Final Fantasy games do poorly, which is that it is introducing you to this world, but not like shoving it down your throat. Like, these are people living in a city, and there's obviously a lot of weird shit going on, but it's not like my point of reference is always Final Fantasy 13, where the first 10 minutes of that game, they're like, here's 100 words you've never heard before that will never make sense. The LC crystals and the LC crystals and the
the LC and the
falsy.
Falsy, yeah.
All that fucking crap. This game,
And don't forget about
like,
day-affected nethicite.
Yeah, you, somebody who lives in this world, let me explain it to you, even though you should clearly understand. No, it's not shitty like the late Final Fantasy games. Like it is just, it's easing you in by just giving you like here. So I only played like the first hour of this game, which stars Charlie Cox, the man who plays Matthew Murdock, aka Daredevil, in the Daredevil Netflix/Disney series as
all the good live action stuff.
As Robert Pattinson, which is weird.
Gustav, aka Robert Pattinson.
It's really weird. And it feels like they thought they were going to get Robert Pattinson and made the whole game and then didn't get him. And we're like, oh, shit. But the first hour of the game is just kind of a beautiful, sad love story. I mean, like I was like, it was getting a little dusty up in here for that first hour where I was like, holy shit, like this is intense. And what's going to happen next? I don't know. There's a paintress. People go on expeditions. Everybody that's a certain age dies.
I feel like the real hook of the game and the thing that really sucks you in.
It's a Logan's Run scenario.
Like, the real only thing it explains in the first couple hours of the game is that there's a big monolith out in the distance from this continent where all the people live. And every year, this being called the Paintress, which is this like giant silver-haired thing, paints on this big monolith a number, and everyone who's the age that corresponds to that number dies instantaneously.
Yeah,
or dies at the end of the next year. So she paints 32.
No,
everyone
34 is on the monolith, and then she paints 33. So it's counting down.
Yeah, it's counting down. So she paints 33, so everyone who's older than 33 dies at the beginning of the game, and then your expedition is people who will, end their 33rd year at the end of that year. So it's like customary for them to try to stop whatever's happening. It's a really kind of compelling little premise.
Yeah, you I wouldn't say it's like a continent. It's just a city, and it's a wreck, and it all really tickles the imagination. And I have not gotten into the game proper yet, so I don't really know where it's gonna go. But just from my end, like really very hooked already, like very interested. So, Jim, how else did you level up?
Let's see. I went and saw the movie Sinners, which was pretty good.
I'm jealous.
I liked it a lot. I actually saw it twice.
You actually sound a bit like you didn't like it as much as most people, because I've only seen glowing reactions. But you're kind of like, it's pretty good.
No, I saw. I'm trying to like. You guys have like really made me start to understand like how I kind of like maybe by way of like projecting my feelings about stuff, I kind of spoil it in a way, or like hype stuff up in a way where maybe it kind of affects how you experience stuff. So I really liked Sinners, and I liked it a lot, but I kind of want you guys to also see it.
Yeah. Remember when you were like, Wishmaster is the best movie ever made, and you have to watch it right now? And then I watched it, and I was like, what just happened to me?
No, I will say I saw Sinners, and I really, really liked it. Like there was one point in it where I was like, because for the first third of it, I was like, do I like this or not? And then the movie really started to get into what it wanted to say, and I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And so I hope you guys feel the same way. I think it's a good movie. And like, is it a spoiler to say like what the monster is in the movie?
Yes.
Do you guys know what it's about? Okay.
I do know, but I don't want to spoil it for other people.
Okay, because the marketing is very ambiguous.
Yeah.
And so like I go see movies a lot, and every trailer never told you what the monster is in the movie. And
really?
So
I thought it was pretty clearly a vampire movie.
Matt, we just said we weren't going to say that to spoil it for people.
Okay, well, it's pretty clear from the trailers what's going on.
You just spoiled it for Johnny. Look at that.
That's Johnny's fault.
I don't want any Sinner spoilers.
I didn't know that it was
mad.
that.
I knew it was vampires. Yeah. I'm going to take my headphones off while you guys talk about it.
I haven't seen it.
Well, so all I'll say is that it's good, and that it's I don't know. Yeah, go see it. Also, I finished. I've been playing Clair Obscur, which I think is great. I got up super early this morning to play it.
You already told us this.
Yeah, got through the tutorial, and I'm probably. I don't know how long the game is because I never played it, but I feel like I'm like 15% of the way through it. And I like it a lot. And I also started reading a book called The Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones, which is another cool vampire novel. And it's like Stephen Graham Jones is kind of like Stephen King, but all of his protagonists and a lot of his characters are Native Americans. He is a Native American himself. And he's had a lot of, like, I'd say a lot of the best horror that's come out in the last, like, 8 to 10 years has been this guy. So check him out if you haven't.
Did you finish Clown in a Cornfield?
No, I haven't yet. I'm, like, halfway through it.
Is the twist that there isn't actually a clown in the cornfield?
That would be a good twist.
There's always been a clown in the cornfield, so...
The clown lives in the cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
Who hasn't leveled up yet?
Vanessa
Me.
or Johnny?
John. John, how did you level up?
Wow. I leveled up by having... Well, I leveled down because my TV just wouldn't turn on anymore. So I leveled up by getting a new TV. And it was a TV that I planned on getting... I didn't plan on getting it this year, but I guess I'm getting this instead of Switch 2. And it is a LG C4, which is a OLED 42-inch TV. So not a huge one, just kind of a smaller TV. But it is one that is known... basically, it's a really good panel for color and color reproduction in HDR. So if I want to do some color work at home, I can use it as a reference monitor for my work. So that's cool. It means I might start trying my hand at some finishing color. I'm doing dailies. Basically, I'm doing like the first pass of color professionally right now. And if I want to try doing the final pass, like the one that you see in the theaters or on Netflix, I'm going to have to learn how to do that. So that's something I've been looking into this year.
John, do you have to like register your TV as like
A lethal
part
weapon?
of the production process? No, like if you were to use your TV to like do color stuff.
Well, it's
you have
one of
to,
those
like,
things
list your
where
TV
they,
as a
like
piece
a
of
client
equipment?
would want to know what kind of panel you're using, and this is acceptable
But you have to
as like
record it somewhere?
no. You just tell them. Like, hey,
just like
you
if
know,
they ask, like you reproduce it.
Yeah, I could be like, this
Okay.
is what I'm using. Like it would Netflix, I think, requires a I don't know, like an A300. No, there's only X300. Like there's something like 15 HDR monitors that qualify for it's weird. There's not very many professional monitors out there. So
They're like $5,000 monitors.
Oh, no, Jim. No, they're not $5,000. You wish they were $5,000.
How much are they?
They're like, tens of thousands of dollars for those crazy monitors.
Why?
But because they're like super, like professionally made, like incredibly color accurate, and but like the HDR panels that Sony made, I think they only made like 30 X300 panels. And our work has 2 of them. Like it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But I'm excited about that. Also, I've been excited working on my video. I'm doing the like look back at. Normally, it's a look back at like 2002 or 2007. This is a look back at 2022, which is kind of interesting because I've never done a year so close before, and it's neat to go back. I want to make it so that you can look at this video in 5 years. And, or 10 years, and it still works. So I'm not making jokes about it being recent. I'm kind of treating it as if it were something that was 20 years ago. And I like looking back at early 20s like that, or like the, 2010s or 2000s like that. And sort of, yeah. So I did get the whole, Jim saw me, when I was chatting with Jim as I was capturing the did Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine moment of 2022. Very exciting stuff.
We scrubbed that footage.
Yeah, we did. I didn't see it. I don't know. He does react, but it could have been anything. It didn't have to be spit. If you told,
Yeah,
I think if you put it into your mind,
it was hard for me to judge because I just saw a clip like on TikTok or something, and that's so easily doctored. Like, how do you know? How do you even know what you're watching? Someone could easily edit.
It's not
like a
high enough quality.
in there, you know what I mean?
There's no spit. You just see him suddenly go, like someone
yeah,
goes
like
that.
I'm not qualified to make a judgment on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
and it's one of those things where you can pre-prejudice yourself into an interpretation because someone told you this is what's happening.
Well, yeah, like you just read the wrong headline and like you know what's in the video.
Yeah. And your brain interprets what it sees based on what it's told it's going to see. And that's a really crazy thing about how brains work. Anyway, so I've just been doing a lot of that. And I got a new TV and I broke it in by playing Grandia for 2 hours. It looks good.
Grandia
I had to
2.
Grandia 2.
John.
Yeah, sorry. Other than that,
how else would you have
nothing's-
seen those big titties?
It's true. I did get to see them in an OLED, and that was amazing. I tried one pedal driving, which is an EV thing. I'm not going to talk about it for too long, but basically,
what is that?
So one pedal driving, and most EVs have this as an optional mode. Basically, you don't use the brake pedal. Letting off the gas is brake. Like if you take your foot off the gas pedal, it's braking. And then you kind of modulate it. It actually reminds me a lot of driving a manual transmission. I don't know if you've ever driven a manual. It's like if you let off the gas, it starts braking.
That's
not
how,
braking,
like,
the engine
modern.
braking.
That's how modern Subarus are too. Like as soon as you get to the point where you're not putting enough pressure on the gas for it to compensate for like where you're headed, it will just stop moving.
Yeah. So it's this weird one pedal driving mode. And I didn't like it at first. And the Toyota version isn't as good as like the Tesla version or like the Rivian way of doing it or the Hyundai way of doing it. But
how dare you? How dare you?
Listen, Tesla has good engineers. They have good engineers. It's that asshole puts his name on everything and ruins it for everyone. Like, anyway.
Listen, Elon, John's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mess with our social securities. It's fine.
Well, Elon, I found out, like, Matt told me a couple of months ago that he was Canadian too. I didn't know that. I think it was Matt. Someone told me.
Yeah.
And he is. He does have Canadian citizenship, which is weird. Mm-hmm. But
he could be your prime minister.
Could he? I don't think we don't have the birth thing that U.S. has. I don't think you have to be born here. Anyway, so one pedal driving is interesting. I'm going to try it again for a little while. But my EV doesn't do it full. It won't come to a complete stop. It'll go to like 10 kilometers an hour and just kind of coast forward a little bit. I don't know why they didn't just put in a full stop. It's weird. But yeah, it's fine. Huh. It's just and instead, so it's engine braking. It's not actually your brakes. So that means that as you pull off the gas,
it's like engine braking. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's recuperating power whenever it does that. It's charging the car from the speed
like
that
on
it's
like
taking
newer
off.
vehicles. If you're at a stoplight, it will kind of shut itself off until you like whisper on the brake or on the gas again.
And it's interesting that it's recharging the vehicle by slowing it down, which is cool. So it's just a different way of driving. And I find it neat. I'm trying it out. Vanessa.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
How did you? Oh, and also I watched the new Game Changer. It was really fun. I wish they went every 2 weeks. Game Changer on Dropout. But how did you level up?
All I do is play Blueprints, and all I want to do is play Blueprints. It is a great game. It is a puzzle roguelike. I've talked about it before. Everyone's talking about it. It's fantastic. I showed you guys before we started recording my Blueprints journal, which is several pages long now, full of notes about many different puzzles and how you might solve them. And every time I think I have this game figured out, it does something that completely blows my mind and changes my understanding of what is even possible in this game and what the limits of it are.
That's cool.
Blueprints. Play it. We have the Patreon. We just finished our Patreon vote, as we mentioned at the top of the show, and the next game we're going to play will be Grim Fandango, one of my little darling games. That Manny, he's a
Ooh.
real skilf.
Thanks, listeners, for voting for this. I'm very excited to play this.
Thank you for voting for it.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And also, Vanessa, between Grim Fandango and Journeyman Project 3, you're like fucking feasting right now.
I am. It is,
Wow.
little Vanessa's dream come true is what this is.
Lil Vanessa.
3 fun
Little
friends
dipshits, dream
to
come
play
true.
my favorite games with.
Yeah, don't try to change the fucking story and suddenly you're Lil Vanessa. You're a little dipshit, and we all know it. And you did it to yourself.
I did not. All I did was send one meme about, like, which Christmas character are you? And you guys said I was a little dipshit.
But didn't you draw that? I always thought it was a drawing you did.
No, I didn't draw that.
was 100% from a meme.
Oh, it looks
I
like
swear
your
to God,
art,
it
though.
called that particular one Little Dipshit, too. I don't think we made that up.
No, it did call it little dipshit. And
It was
Oh,
called
okay,
Lil Dipshit.
We're
yeah.
calling you the thing that you picked for yourself from a list of...
I
Okay,
did
you know
not
what?
pick it for myself. You picked it for me.
I've never
Because it
picked
says
anything
little
in my life,
dipshit's a narc.
except my nose.
Lil Dipshit is an
That is fair. You are a narc.
And Little Dipshit, for the listeners at home, was a drawing of a elf on the shelf kind of character. At the $5 level on our Patreon, you can vote in the next game. Are you mad Grim Fandango won? Vote against it next time. Are you happy it won? Vote twice for it. Just kidding, you only get one vote. You also get all the access to our bonus content. At the $3 level, you don't get to vote, but you do get access to the bonus content. This month will mark our 100th piece of bonus content that will be available on the Patreon. That is value. I mean,
That's a
I
lot.
don't know how we do it, and some months we don't, but this month we will.
We have released an episode every month since we started the Patreon. Sometimes they're a few days
every
late.
month-ish.
Yeah.
We've released an
And
episode 4 every month.
At any level,
Yeah, that's a
you
good way of saying it.
will get your name read at the end of select episodes, and the names selected for this episode are as follows: Ryan, Bree Girth, David Green, Ross Hartley, Nick,
Hayden Neff, Andy Best, Keysby Knight, Ian Frederick, Militant Decency.
Friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, Brian Hassel, Workit Muffin, Rachel, and Stephen Paget.
I'd like to thank Chad Wilson, John B. Quaker Oatman, Josh Holt, and Ed Franco.
All right, that's it for this episode of Square
Thank
Roots. If
God.
you'd like to send us an email, we're at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or find us on Blue Sky, squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
All right, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
Oh, I'm Johnny Brandon.
You're a goblin now.
And I'm Little
I'm Napoleon.
Dipshit.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, little dipshit. Bye, Johnny Brandon.
Man, I've been thinking Vanessa drew that this whole time.